Running back upside. A lot of people panicking right now, especially at and around the running back position, but Jordan Mason here to save the day. Chase Brown, a great buy low. Hendy will bounce back, or shall we say arrive. He hasn't even arrived yet. Genty will be that guy. Fully believe that with every fiber of my being. Bashal Tootin is here to save the day, or eventually will. Krosky Merritt, Judkins, Harvey, Mark, Skattebo. These are the players that you might want to consider trading for, holding, figuring out ways to get these guys into your starting lineup soon. Some of them need some time, some of them don't. We'll figure that out as we go. But there is time to make moves. There's time to hold. There's time to marinate on some of this. A lot of people are overreacting. There's a lot of running back value on this board. A ton. There's a lot of league-saving moves that can be made. Or, like I said, even if you have these guys and they're not in your lineup, maybe you're moving something else to open up room to better a wide receiver spot. We're breaking it all down and more. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are discussing so many running backs on screen that have upside to be potential running back twos and running back ones. The guys on the right side of the screen here, Hendy, Brown, and Genty, are bigger name players. No one's pretending you're getting these guys for pennies on the dollar. Nobody's pretending that these guys are in the same realm as these guys. And in some cases, Mark, Skattebo, very much below Judkins and Jordan Mason and Krosky Merritt. Tootin a level below those guys. So this is a variety pack on screen right here. This is not something that's, closely ranked, or they're kind of in, you could say, tiers, in that these guys are studs. And then these guys are a mixed bag of running back 2 to bench player. But if we start over with the big dogs and we say to ourselves, who's the highest ranked guy? Let's go in order. Chase Brown. Chase Brown is still a stud, a running back superstar. Chase Brown is still going to be a focal point of his offense. Chase Brown is still a player that can win you leagues if you acquire him at and around top of round 3, late 3rd, top of 4th round equivalent value, if we're trying to equate trade value right now in our mindset of what does this mean in terms of dollar values, trade value, fair market value. Very much believe that Chase Brown can be had much cheaper than he should be had right now. The offense is going to run through him. Browning is competent. No one's saying he's Joe Burrow, but honestly, what does that mean for the running game? Not that much of a difference really at the end of the day, because it's really about Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They get watered down quite a bit with Browning, but Browning's still very competent. The team's going to move the football down the field. They're going to march down. They're going to be competitive, even if they don't make the playoffs because of this whole Joe Burrow made of glass fiasco that makes it really hard to trust Joe Burrow moving forward, I'll be honest, but that's for another day. This is still a competent offense. It's going to march and move the football, matriculate the football down the field. This is still an offense that, quite honestly, has the capability of being in field position to get Chase Brown all the looks he was going to get before. Maybe there's a little less efficiency because the offense is struggling a little more. It's a little more watered down for sure. But Chase Brown will be the focal point. If there's ever a running back that I feel is getting disrespected like crazy because of slow starts or injuries, it might be Chase Brown that's getting disrespected the most, that doesn't deserve to be. There's no real alarm bells that should be going off. It's just a mere, Joe Burrow's out, Chase Brown's going to be trash. I think they're going to lean on him. I think Chase Brown is a league winner. I think Chase Brown is a must-go-get. I think Chase Brown's that guy you couple multiple players for that you're kind of worried about that still have a little trade value, but you throw some 2-for-1s together to go get one Chase Brown. Or if you're trying to downgrade and you need multiple pieces, you're trading one of those big dogs we don't want to even trade, but we know we can't win with the big dog. You've got somebody that's going crazy, a top 5 running back right now that quite honestly could continue to play at that level, but you must make a move. You know, looking yourself in the mirror, the honest inventory with your squad, you know that you must divide and conquer one player into 2. Chase Brown makes the perfect running back in that 2-player acquisition for your team. He's a fantastic go-get player, top 6 to 10 running. Maybe we don't call him top 5 potential running back right now, but we do call him top 6 to 10 running back walking into the remaining part of the season. Chase Brown, you're Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Go get him, go get him, go get him. Chase Brown, where's our Chase Brown video? We need some video plays. This week we need some positivity, across the fantasy industry. I mean, this is just, there's so many injuries. It's just been it was a very bad week 2 in general. The McCarthy, the JJ, Justin Jefferson impacted, McCarthy injury, the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase injury, the slow starts for rookie. Like, it's just been crazy. We need a little happiness in our life. Chase Brown, take it away.
Chase Brown. Oh yeah. Chase Brown. Touchdown. You hear that sound? It's Chase Brown. Chase Brown, 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 Chase Brown.
Honey, what is that awful sound? Ma, that's Chase Brown. Ma, you got my Hot Pocket ready yet? Where are the batteries for my Game Boy?
Chase Brown. Chase Brown.
Not worried about Chase Brown at all. I'm going and getting Chase Brown. I'm holding Chase Brown. I'm making Chase Brown a part of my 2 players I'm getting for 1 if I need to make a trade. Now, Hendy's the next player that we're not going to hit the Hendy button until he bounces back. I appreciate these $20 haulers. I'm going to get to the $20 haulers immediately after I get through this. I want to make sure we are essentially getting through the first part of this. Then we'll cycle through Super Chats, especially starting with the $20 haulers and above. Hendy's a player that we're not hitting that button. We're not celebrating Hendy until he bounces back or even arrives. He can't bounce back. He hasn't arrived yet. But this is a player that, just like Jahmyr Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs is even worse. I think we all need to just take ourselves back to the Jahmyr Gibbs rookie season. And quite honestly, I think they forget how bad it was. They forget how bad it was. And it was very bad. If I could find the Jahmyr Gibbs, I think I have it here somewhere. It was Jahmyr Gibbs's game log here. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. This is Jahmyr Gibbs's rookie season. 36, running back 36, running back 20, running back 25, running back 25. Didn't play. The amount of freaking out that was occurring, like, really from like week 2 all the way down to week 6 was crazy. It was insane. It was worse than the panic on even Hampton right now. It was that bad. We come in here and there was nothing but negative comments everywhere. I can't believe this. F my life. I screwed my team up. I can't believe I'm not playing fantasy anymore. How many people retired from fantasy football at week 5 and 6? And then they unretired in week 7. But we have to remember, this guy was running back number 2 overall from week 7 on. Now, he ended up finishing, I believe it was running back, I want to say it's running back 10. Running back 8 or 10, depending on your scoring format. But he didn't finish number 2, but he finished number 10, I believe it was. I think Bijan was number 9, Jahmyr Gibbs was number 10. But from week 7 on, he was literally running back 2, only behind Christian McCaffrey. And he had 1,400 rushing yards, or that was the year before. Where's the other season? I don't know if I have the other season on here. He had, God, what was it? I think it might be here if I can find this. Actually, it doesn't matter. I won't mess up this board because this is geared for the current previous season stats. But anyway, Jahmyr Gibbs, we're not worried about Jahmyr Gibbs. Let me get off the Jahmyr Gibbs board and just say that Hendy, Genty, all the rookies, we have to understand Not 3 weeks, not 4 weeks, not 5 weeks, not 6 weeks. 2 weeks have played. And is it what we wanted? No, but we knew this was possible. We talked about it all offseason, that there was a huge chance that one or two, it just so happens all three of the top rookie running backs, Genty, Hendy, and Hampton, are all struggling and on the struggle bus. But we knew that there was a possibility that two of them could start off slow, and it might be week 4 or 5 before they get fully unveiled. We're only 2 weeks in, and nobody's sticking to the plan. No one's understanding that that is still the case. Hendy is the best player on the roster that is not Drake May. If we're just talking about weapons or extensions of Drake May, Hendy is by far and away the best player on the New England Patriots roster. He's the best weapon. He's the best option for a touchdown. He's the best big play capability guy. He's the best hands. He is the best pass protector. And yes, it's common knowledge there were 3 holding calls on Hendy that ended up making this a let's take him off the field type of situation. Everyone calling it a punishment. They're going to turn to Hendy. They drafted Hendy for a reason. The draft capital is in Hendy. The preseason, even though it's just preseason, the preseason screams Hendy. The preseason was amazing for Hendy. He's a house call touchdown machine. At some point, he will rise. So if you need to make some sort of wild move and trade one big player into 2, Hendy should be a part of that 2-player package that you're receiving. I do firmly believe this will be a funny story that we all reflect back on the same way we do Chase Brown playing bad in week 1. Chase Brown in week number 1 last year was trash. Chase Brown in week 1 last year did nothing. In week 2 last year did nothing. In week 3 last year did nothing. That means that if Hendy or Harvey or Genty is on, I don't want to say Hampton right now, because Hampton he may be a long ways away from getting that job back, but I still think there's hope for Hampton. I'm still trying to grab Hampton for pennies on the dollar, because there's still a world where they have draft capital invested in him. There's still a world where he gets into the mix. But Chase Brown didn't explode until week 4. There's still a chance that and Chase Brown was so good. You're not looking back at Chase Brown's 2024 season and saying, yeah, but it was disappointing to not have him in weeks 1, 2, 3. You don't even care. You don't care. Your memory of Chase Brown is untouched. It's solid. It's secure. It was glorious. It was a glorious season. Imagine if, let's say Hendy doesn't have he has one more bad game. Let's say he doesn't, though. Let's say week 3 is Hendy's week. Then he's going to have a better year than Chase Brown had. Like, we have to understand there's still that. There's a lot of freaking out, and I understand it. I do understand it. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to calm the storm. Go get Hendy. Make him a part of your 2 receive players for your 1 if you need to make moves.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Very much love Genty still. I understand the negatives. I understand there was the botched pass protection play that everybody's saying is pass pros horrible. They're going to take him off the field. Zamir White's been on the... Listen, his head coach already said today when asked about it, Genty is just getting going. This is just the very beginning. He didn't say anything negative, Pete Carroll, about Genty, saying, yeah, he's got to do this better. I mean, of course, everybody's got to play better. He said that. But he said Genty's just getting going. His day's coming. So if you think that Genty's story is being told right now, the book hasn't even been opened. We're buying Hendy. We're buying Genty. We're buying, obviously, Chase Brown. These 3 big dogs are probably the most secure, questionable running back situations moving forward. If we're trying to nitpick and find those big name players that have negative clouds around them right now, it's these 3 guys. They are the best go-get players. The only other players that make sense in terms of big name players to go get would be maybe Bucky because of the Rachaad White workload, you could say. And I'm not even going to put him on here because he had such an amazing 100-plus yard game. But the Rachaad White concern is definitely, in play. Another guy you might say is Kyren Williams. Is there concern with Kyren Williams' workload? Not really, not for me. I understand why people might feel that way, but for me, I'm going and getting Kyren, so I can put Kyren on the screen, and we'll give Kyren Smitty approved at the same time we give Genty. Both these guys, is there risk in terms of Corum getting more work? Sure, but Kyron is still, he just got paid, and McVay loves him. And I know that they are going to use Corum a little bit more, but not enough that's going to scare me away from Kyron, who's still getting as much of a percentage of workload as any running back would get, and this will keep him fresher. So let's just see what's what. Everybody can judge him through 2 weeks of ball if they want. Kyron scored in week 1. Kyron was fine in week 1. So I'm not worried about Kyron week 1. Week 2 is the only negative we have for Kyron, and I'm fine with the fact that he's going to have a game or two like that. So I'm going and getting Kyron in those 2 players you get for your 1 if you need to make a move. But I'm especially going and getting Ashton Genty. So Kyron and Ashton Genty, both Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
So those 4 players are the big name players. The only other players that might have some doubted Donnie value right now would probably be, I would say Breece Hall does qualify as well. People are going to be freaking out a little bit on Breece Hall. So definitely consider Breece Hall in this mix as well. You know, he had such a good week 1. It's amazing people are fickle enough to run away from Breece Hall, but they are. And so, you know, you have Fields concussion protocol. We'll have more information on Fields availability this week, but as the week unfolds. But this is one of those things where, you know, Hall is easy to have and he shouldn't be. He really shouldn't be. Out of all the players on here, he had a remarkable week 1. And none of these guys, they've struggled a little bit, right? Even Chase Brown, because of the injury to Joe Burrow, there's an understandable concern there. With Breece Hall, Fields going down in week 2, the offense falling apart, and them abandoning the run game, that is very explainable. So Hall is a very good go-get. He's also a Smitty approved player.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay, so swinging on over to these other guys, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, not to celebrate injury, but we can chew gum and walk at the same time. We're celebrating that this guy's got the opportunity. And Jordan Mason, a midseason monster all year. The Masonites ready to reunite. Let me see if I can find my Masonite video. We need to play this. This is long overdue.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure. Masonites assemble.
Masonite is here to stay. Masonites assemble. Aaron Jones, honestly, I don't really believe that this situation's the most ideal right now. It sucks that he has to walk in with no McCarthy, although maybe Wentz is going to be better than McCarthy. We just don't know. McCarthy didn't look that good. Maybe this offense leans on the run, and this is a blessing in disguise. But on paper, it's like, damn, the time he gets the nod, it's like there's shambles, around him. But this could be one of those things that we rejoice in terms of the way it's all set up for him beautifully. We'll see what happens, but all I know is we're excited about this guy. Standing ovation for Mason getting a shot. Let's go.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
Very, 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 very solid. Krosky, Merritt, again, not celebrating injury, but we can chew gum, walk at the same time. Austin Eckler, torn Achilles, done. His career is probably over, but thank you. And standing O for Eckler real quick. And Aaron Jones. I mean, for all that you brought fantasy, but it's Krosky Merritt time. Now, is there a chance that this team screws this up? Is there a chance that this team screws this up? And we're sitting here waiting for Krosky Merritt to get all the work, and he's got 4 carries by the half. He gets 3 additional carries. He's under 10 carries in the game, and we're just like, what is Washington doing? Yes. Are we waiting on JD5? Yes. We need to make sure he's fully 100% locked and loaded for week number 3. If not, they might lean on the run even more. Who knows? But, this is just, it's weird that the quarterbacks are in question for both these risers that, could be blessing in disguise or it could be just, but it's tough. No, if you've got safer options, certainly explore them, I suppose, walking into this week. But you got to make sure that you're making smart moves and you're not getting excited over a player that you've been waiting on and you shove them in over a Deebo Samuel or something like that. But Krosky, Merritt, Mason, both Smitty approved walking into this week.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the stashes and getting some advantageous potential production this week from your astute collection of these monsters that have been waiting like Tootin. Tootin is maybe not locked in as much as maybe a Merritt or Mason, but he could outscore them given his ability to pop off and explode. This guy's one cut and go ability, it reminds me a little bit of like MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. This is one of those players that literally you get the ball in their hands, you hold your breath, and you're like, this could be a touchdown every time he touches the ball. He's got that grit, determination, contact balance, real low center of balance and gravity. Like these guys not knocking this bowling ball over. And Tootin, mark my words, as much as I love ETN, and I do, and I love ETN. We've loved ETN on this channel. He's one of the original Moon Men. So we're a big ETN, show here. We love ETN. I love ETN. But I close my eyes and I see Tootin starting not one or two games, like multiple games. I think that they could still use both these guys to some capacity if they both stayed healthy all year. And it could be one of those, really, advantageous divides where they're just both kind of productive. You want one of them to get more work, but you're just not going to get that. Tootin eventually will start some games. Tootin, I believe, is one of the bigger league winners, and the risk is zero. He's on waivers right now. Judkins is available in like 40% of leagues on average across all leagues, so go grab Judkins. Tootin's available in a crazy amount, still 40 or 50% of leagues, I believe, is the number. So go get Tootin. Skattebo is available in an enormous amount of leagues. We'll get to Skattebo in a minute. And Bill is still available, not in that many. It's a much lower number. But the top pickups of the week are Judkins for the now, although his matchup this week against Green Bay is awful, by the way. So, like, in a way, Tootin might even be a craftier play this week, although it's high risk, high reward. But if I had to pick one player off this board that I don't want to say is the best or most likely, there's so many great players. Genty is probably the guy, Hendy, that I want to lean on the most. But I'm just saying, if there's one player that excites me the most because of the rags to riches potential, like going from rags to literally top 8 running back production for as many games as he's, lucky to get, I feel like it's Tootin. I feel like Tootin is the guy that's going to absolutely just carry people. We'll see. We'll see if he gets the shot, but Tootin to the moon, you're Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Judkins, as I just alluded to, is available. Just crazy. 40% of leagues, some platforms 50. Grab him. I mean, this guy got 10 carries for 1 yards, 10 additional yards receiving, 3 receptions. Used him heavily in his first game back. We got 1,000 people in the building. Please hit that thumb up button and subscribe. We're at 36.1K. And if everybody hits subscribe right now that's in here that hasn't, because we have 1,000 people in here, and I know there's over about 100 of you, at least, maybe 200, that have not yet subscribed, we get to 36.2K on the show. We climb almost 100 subscribers in one show. So hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you being here. And hit that thumb up button on the way in the door. We do this every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. This show is a 2 to 3 hour show every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. I'm live at midnight almost every single night, and I'm live whenever big news breaks. So this is your one-stop shop. Congratulations on finding your new home, and hit that subscribe button on the
I smell meatloaf.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Judkins, welcome to the family as well. Judkins, very, very utilized. He has that Green Bay matchup. He's got kind of a brutal schedule, to be honest. But very much love the volume. He's a tough runner. Sampson's not going to necessarily go away into the dark night that quickly, but Judkins should get like 15 totes a game and, 4 yards a carry, shot at a touchdown. Even against Green Bay, he could have like 60 yards and a score if all things fall perfectly for him. But he's definitely a must-go get, could be a savior, could be a disappointment next week against the Packers D. It's hard to really say, but should be grabbed. And honestly, if I'm being truly frank here, my intentions for grabbing Judkins have a little bit more to do with I think I can then take him and flip him and do a 2 for getting 1. I feel like I could take Judkins tomorrow, pick him up tonight, and if he's available, and tomorrow turn him into BTJ. Pick him up tonight with another player, or straight up turn him into Hendy. Pick him up tonight, turn him into Harvey and potentially a JMO, because someone's so in dire need of a running back. I take advantage of them, take him to the cleaners. My intentions for Judkins with the Green Bay matchup, with the tough schedule, is to grab him and trade him. But I'm completely fine with starting him if I'm in dire straits at the running back position and my running back 2 has been trash or injured or whatever. Caleb Johnson is him, says Groovy. Caleb, I think you look, give Caleb or give Groovy a break. I think he just woke up from a coma right before week 1 kicked off. Judkins, go get him. Smitty approved, but I love the idea of trading him more than anything.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Woody Marks is a potential rags to riches in waiting, and this is a tough pickup because you're not going to get a ton of work out of him. He looked fantastic in his small amount of work last night, but if Chubb goes down, they'll turn to this guy. And understand, this guy caught 83 receptions in one of his college seasons. In one season, he caught 83 footballs. This is the best pass-catching running back on the Texans roster. 83. He wasn't playing wide receiver either. Like, this is wild. 83 receptions. This guy knows what he's doing in terms of catching the football. Caught a 37, I believe it was a 37-yard reception last night, too. So very excited about Marks, but he's such a big degree. It's not a lot of degrees. It's 1 degree away from the starting lineup, but it's a big degree in sidestep right now. But love his ability and potential rags to riches. Smitty approved in some deeper situations where you can afford to wait on him.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Harvey, I'm not giving up on Harvey at all. Not even a small amount of me is like, okay, Hampton right now, I'm not giving up on Hampton. I'm certainly not acquiring him, expecting him to play soon. I'll tell you that right now. Hampton is a disaster right now. That fumble last night, you can blame it on Herbert and him. You watch the replay, a lot of people trying to justify it for their situation, especially for their scoring. Like, hey, Smitty, if I that Hampton fumble, if it wasn't Herbert, I win the game. It should have been, right? I know everybody wants it to fit their narrative. We're almost done with these, and we're going straight for the Super Chats and $20 haulers immediately. Thank you guys for the Super Chats. I know everybody wants this to fit their narrative with the Hampton situation. Like, oh, that fumble. But look, the fumble happened, and then they benched him. Maybe Harbaugh rewatches the film and says, really, that's not on you. That was you and Herbert, and that was just as much Herbert as you. I'm not going to hold that against you. But Hampton also got stuffed on 3 straight runs. Najee came in. Najee did what he was supposed to do. Najee didn't fumble the ball. Najee was able to get some tough yardage. I believe when they rewatched the film, what Najee did earn Najee more work. That is not fortunate. Now, does Najee get injured? He hasn't missed a game in his career. So this is a tough road for Hampton. I do go get Hampton. I do go get him on the cheap. Some people are giving him away. Some people get so disgusted with a player they just want to rinse their hands of the situation and get rid of them. So those are the people you're trying to go get Hampton from. And you're trying to get them for pennies on the dollar. But Harvey, I'm not thinking that way. Harvey hasn't even had a chance to fail. Hendy hasn't had a chance to fail. Genty, you could say he's had a chance. He hasn't failed. He just hasn't popped off. But Harvey hasn't failed. Harvey, coming out of week 1, was tied for 6th in the league in rushing yards. Harvey, coming out of week 1, was top 5 in yards after contact. Harvey, out of week 1, everybody was going, the data says he's going to explode week 2. And he didn't. But that's now one game. If we want to judge Harvey, we got to think of it from, we're judging him on one game, not 2 games. He played well in week 1. We're judging him. He had a 50-yard run. He had 70 rushing yards. He was tied for 6th in the NFL in rushing coming out of week 1. We're judging Harvey on one game. Harvey is a go-get player. You can get him thrown into deals. I'm not saying you trade for him and trust him to start him in week 3. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that this is a preparation move for your roster to try and fuel up and get ready to go attack and win leagues down the stretch. This is my reminder that Chase Brown did nothing in week 1, week 2, week 3 of last year and didn't get on his horse until week 4. This is my reminder to tell you that Jahmyr Gibbs didn't get in the lineup until week 7. He was bad in 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't play week 5, didn't play week 6. Jahmyr Gibbs busted on you for 6 straight weeks and then was the second best running back from week 7 on. I'm here to remind you of that when we have not seen Harvey fail. We have not seen Hendy fail. And then, so Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Scatmeister, the Cam Skattebo monster, Cam Skattebo.
What is that smell? Someone needs me.
Help! Help! I'm going to lose my fantasy week! Somebody help! Call the Scat Man!
I am Scatman. Who needs my help? Wow. Bang, bang, boom.
To the moon.
Now it's time to go pick up your mother.
Scatman is here to
Save the day.
go get him now, and make sure you don't get disappointed if they mess up week number 3. But this is a player that when I watch him play, this guy wants to own everyone. This guy wants to take every single carry to the house. This guy has heads up mentality on the field. There's a botched fumble, a ball that was thrown behind the quarterback. It was thrown behind the quarterback, so it was a live ball. He understood what the assignment, and he scooped it out of bounds. This guy's heads up, grit. You can't tackle him. This is probably, Derrick Henry's the toughest running back in the league to tackle by far and away. But this is probably one of the pound for pound scariest players to go up against as a defender. Even though he's smaller, this guy wants to take you down. This guy, he has the ball. He's coming for you. He's trying to tackle you when he has the football in his hands, and he wants to take you down. He doesn't want to go. He wants to barrel over you, step on you, and move into the end zone. That's what he wants. And Skattebo is going to be hungry. My only fear is he runs so hard he's going to injure himself. But I really am excited for Scatman 2025. I don't know what's in store this week. I do know that the divide in carry and workload and everything seem to have shifted in this game. But we don't know if it'll shift back. This is potentially the JCM of week 2. We all thought he was going to get the work, and he didn't. And then Eckler went down, so he will. This could be that. We could be thinking, oh, Scatman, throwing him in my flex. And I understand it, and I will. I'll throw him into my second flex in a 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, and 2 flex league where you're scraping by anyway. I'm starting him. 100% I'm starting him. In that format where I've got 2 flexes and I'm just, you're scraping by. You're trying to find anything. It's like Dobbs, and Dobbs is not a bad play either. But you're scraping by. You're trying to find something, right? You're trying to find, do I start Roshan Johnson? do I start, let's see here. Do I start like Braylon Allen or Ray Davis? Skattebo needs to be in your lineups in those scenarios. And there's a world where it doesn't work this week. They could screw it up royally. But there's a world where this guy scores 1 or 2 touchdowns or starts becoming a consistent touchdown contributor. So Skattebo, you're Smitty approved.
You've just been...
Those are the buy low running, or not really buy low running backs as much as in some cases hold them, go get them, do 2-for-1 trades, believe in them. They're really just the running back upside breakdown, I think, of the landscape of the RB right now. And the RB is the most, you could say the quarterback is the most leveled with the injuries. But this is, I think, where a lot of people's problems reside in fantasy football, the running back spot right now. So hopefully this provides some clarity as to what you guys can do to try and fix some of these issues. Let me get these $20 super chats on screen. Appreciate you all for dropping the 20 wad. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got these from Craig. Craig, thank you for the super chat. I've got Go Bucks with a $20 super chat. You guys are going to get immediate attention. Appreciate you for dropping these. We've got Bowen, thank you for the $20 super chat. Young man, thank you very much. And John, I've got all of you on screen. Let me see if I have any. I'm going to sort by these. $19.99 now. Not that there's a difference. That's how I'm finding these. Okay, you got one JF, another $20 super chat. Okay, so JF, thank you very much for that super chat, young man. And then the rest of them I'll get to in order in which they're received right after this. Let's go over to the Bowen one. 12-man PPR, currently 0-2, make moves or hold. Probably looking at this squad as a can't do much with the wide receivers unless you want to get rid of Buka. And Buka even not blowing up. He had a good game for sure. He's on pace for 25-plus touchdowns. But, I don't know what you're getting in trade. I'm probably saying with this squad, bro, I hate to not give you a tangible, I could give you something, but this is a hold. This is a very, very good team. You've had some bad luck. Garrett Wilson in week 2, bad luck. Rice is, one of my favorite go-get players right now. Rice is one of the best buy lows for this week. The running backs that were mentioned are all highlighted here just for a point of emphasis that some of those guys are on this is week 3, not week 2. Let me change that up at the top. So the reason I have the running backs highlighted is to emphasize what we've been talking about if they qualify on this board. Let me change this from week 2 to week 3. There we go. But Rice is one of my favorite buy lows in 2025 week 3 and beyond. So go get Rice if you can. If you don't have him. But for you, you're probably going to hold him unless you can move him now and not play the waiting game. And he's 2 weeks, closer to coming back now. He's 4 weeks away. So somebody might be willing to potentially give you, like Judkins and Rice give you, I would say Brown, but you have him. Wide receiver, you could trade Judkins for BTJ. You could trade Rice for BTJ. But with how good your team is, I'd probably say no on the Rice move. For other people, I'd maybe do that. If you've got Rice and you're 0-2 and you don't have the team that this guy has, Bowen at the top left, then you probably do need to trade for BTJ and take that gamble. I would take Judkins and move him for BTJ. I would trade Ladd and Judkins for BTJ and something. I would trade Ladd and Judkins for one wide receiver. That's probably where I'm headed. I do hold Ladd. I don't get rid of Ladd. I still believe in Ladd to a degree. I am in a dynasty league that heavily favors, thank you for that $20, pal. It heavily favors running backs. I have Achane and Gordon. Jalen Wright looks to be coming back soon. Should I pick him up as well? I'm not worried about Jalen Wright right now. I'm not worried about any backup running back in Miami. They can barely do anything with anybody but Achane right now. I still think Gordon would probably be the guy they lean on, but with Miami Mike, you don't know. It's hard to know. Gordon's not somebody that's doing anything right now, but I still think he's somebody to monitor because if he gets in there, he would explode. But Miami Mike needs to be fired. He went to the podium and described about how winning, you need to win games. In order to win, you need to win games. In order to not lose, you can't lose the game. This guy's oblivious up there. This guy should have never been given a head coaching job. He is absolutely incompetent as a leader and as a commander of a team. And it's wild to me that he's still got a job. The way he operates these question and answer sessions with reporters, it just makes him look like a buffoon. He's a rambling buffoon that doesn't know what he's doing. And while I'm afraid of what that means if Achane, doesn't have him calling plays because they do feed Achane, I'm almost willing to take the risk to see if the offense can open up more. Maybe there's more consistency. I don't know. But all I know is that Gordon is probably still the guy to hold if you were to try and hold one. But if you're holding Gordon and not picking up a Tootin or a Benson or a player like Harvey or Skattebo that gets cut or something, then you're not making the right move. Traded Mahomes, Worthy, and Addison for Amon-Ra. Your QB's Herbert. With Herbert there, I don't mind that trade. That trade is a tough trade, giving up all those pieces, but Amon-Ra's worth it in this context. Not in every context, but in your context. Can you rate your team? I would say with Herbert, Gibbs, Jacobs, Hendy on the rise at some point. Sharps, Tootin, fantastic bench. I still love Sharps on the bench. Amon-Ra, Ladd, I believe in Ladd in this role. Although I would try and maybe move Ladd and Booty, Ladd and Sharps, Ladd and Tootin. And Tootin gains value. You might be able to do this to go get BTJ. You might be able to do Sharps and Ladd now for BTJ. You never know. Someone might be willing to take a chance. Other than that, a 7.9, only awaiting someone's rise on your bench or via trade. And it could come from your bench to make this an 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, 8.5 team. It's very, very capable. Thank you for the super chat. 0-2, let me know what changes to make. Starters are Mahomes, CD, London, Kyron, Hendy, Jawan Johnson, Jacoby Myers, bench, Pitts, Harvey, Worthy. I like this team a lot. Remember when I said I would definitely go get Rice, or if I had a Rice, I'd consider trading him. It works both ways based on the build of your team. If you drafted Rice, sometimes holding him is going to be hard if you're 0-2. If you don't have Rice, go after the owner that drafted Rice that's 0-2 that can't hold him. That's where that gets confusing for people, but the advice goes both ways. This team might need to trade Rice, but you only trade him to someone that respects the value. If they're not going to respect the value, you don't make the move. I love the team, though. You've got Mahomes, CD, London. Mahomes is doing so much. Kyron, I love. Chase Brown would be a fantastic go-get player right now using, let's say, Rice. And the problem is I don't want you to trade Hendy on the low. I don't want you to really trade Harvey. So unless somebody's willing to just part with an RB using Rice and Worthy, which I don't know if they will be, and I don't know if you want to do that because I know you're waiting for Mahomes and Rice to get back together and have a day. Maybe Sampson and Rice can get you something. BTJ's a fantastic go-get player for Rice right now because you get the value now. You don't have to wait 4 weeks to come to fruition. If you were 1-1 or 2-0, I would tell you to wait on Rice, but I think I'm exploring it. But I'm not giving them away cheaply. And would I potentially look to get out of the Kyron game? No. I love buying Kyron, but would I rather have a different player if I could throw Rice or Worthy at the two players together? Yeah, I would. I probably would, but it depends on if you're getting that big dog, that top 3 running back potential. Genty's a good go-get using Hendy and Worthy or something like that if you wanted to go get a player now. We got a $200 hauler from Russian Collusion dropping wattage on the screen right now. I don't even have a $200 hauler button. All I can do is hit the $100 plus button.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. $100+ hauler. I don't even know why they're getting.
Russian Collusion, appreciate you, my boy. Smitty, you know I love the show, and most importantly, you as a fantasy guru. Let's not get ahead of the horse, and it could be a shared backfield come weeks 4 through 6. Remember, longtime listener and won the belt on your message. Let me know your thoughts. Negative comment. Love your message. On what are we talking about? What specific player are we talking about here, Russian? I don't think you mentioned what player we're talking about there. Could be become a shared backfield come weeks 4 through 6. Which player, Collusion, are you referring to? And I don't mind the differing opinion, but what is it you're talking about? Let me see if Collusion can say. Is he saying Skattebo? Horse with Skattebo. Is that what he means with Shadovu? Is that what he means by Skattebo? Okay, I think he means Skattebo. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Could be a shared backfield come week 4 or 6. I don't know that I'm getting ahead of my and I'm not, it's not a negative comment. I'm not taking it negative at all. You're asking the question, are we getting, like, keep in mind what I said when I broke down the Skattebo thing. I said, is there a world, I mean, I literally said this, is there a world where the Giants, we think this is going to happen, like we thought JCM was going to get all the work on week 2? And then JCM wasn't quite ripe and ready? Yeah, so I addressed that for sure. But it does feel like this is trending in a way that feels even a little bit more secure for week 3 than it did for JCM in week 2. But I very much acknowledge that there's huge risk. And if you remember what I said when I talked about it, is I said that if this is a double flex league where I've got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 2 flexes, or especially 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and 2 flexes, beggars can't be choosers when you got a guy like Scat waiting to start for you. So, but no negative comment there. We certainly don't have, until we get word from the coach that Scat's the new starter, there's of course going to be risk. So this is not a negative comment whatsoever. But I do address this in what I said. There's no guarantee, but when are you putting Scat in your lineup? In a double flex league? Sure. So you're not really risking much anyway. You're getting a guy that's probably going to get, let's say he gets 8 carries. That's still good enough, chance for a touchdown in a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex league. But am I sitting anybody? And I think I even said that, like Debo, or no, we can't get too ahead of ourselves. But Scat has league winning potential. Thank you, Russian Collusion, for the super chat. The man, the myth, the legend. Thank you for dropping that, you kind sir, you. And let me see if we had any other. I think we had another $20 hauler that came in here from Red. Red, appreciate you. The phone line will be open after the super chats. Red, thank you so much for the $20 hauler, you monster.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Phone lines aren't open yet, though, Red. Just hang tight. I'll do that after I get to the super chats. There are a number of super chats, just to warn you. So just hang tight. $20 hauler from Craig says, Dynasty 0.5, Mahomes, Bill, 26 second for Lamar, Skattebo. Look, Lamar is unreal right now. You got to take this. It is what it is. But I don't, if let's say he pulled it, you waited too long and he pulled it, I wouldn't lose sleep over it because I still love Mahomes and I still love Bill. But if I had to force a decision, and I am forcing it a little bit, I'm going to say Lamar because he's balling out right now. But Mahomes has a story to tell too, because Mahomes is going to get his top 5 wide receiver back really, really soon. $20 hauler from Micah. Micah, appreciate you. 10-team PPR. I'm 0-2. What change should I make? QB, May, Fields, Josh Jacobs, Hampton, Harvey, Tootin, Puka, BTJ, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith. Love Mike Evans. Mike Evans is on my favorite go-get players for week 3 at the wide receiver position. I think Mike Evans is going to help really, really turn some teams around that are on the struggle bus. But love the team, love the wide receivers. I wouldn't touch it. Not selling BTJ low. Would I sell maybe Devontae Smith with something? Sure. Hampton and Devontae Smith for Hendy. Hampton, and no one's going to buy Hampton unless you're packaging him with something. Maybe Tootin rises up. You could trade Tootin and Hampton. But Hampton, I guess I try and get rid of. I'm trying to get Hendy, who's also very doubted. And if you give someone Devontae Smith, they might like that. Even Steven, your risky running back for my risky running back, and you're giving me a receiver, feels like a win to this person, right? So try that. Try getting one of these players that we're very excited about. You already have Harvey. You already have BTJ. He's doubted. You already have Mike Evans. He's doubted. So you're kind of stuck in a way, unless you can, figure out a way to get using Hampton and Devontae Smith. You steal Kyron away from a panicked owner. Try Kyron. Try, I don't know what other running back you could get at that level. Breece Hall. Try Breece Hall for that combo. Hendy, Breece Hall, and Chuba Hubbard, Micah. Those would be very good running back steals at this point at that value range. Thank you for the super chat, the $20 hauler. You straight up monster. F21, thank you for the super chat. Esteban with the $19.99 as well. Owen with the $19.99 as well. I'm going to put that right here. Owen, I'm going to answer that in just 1 second. And then viral clips with the $19.99 as well. Thank you guys for the $20 haulers. You get immediate attention and jump the line. That's the way that it goes. Russian Collusion dropping another 20 wad on screen to explain himself, I believe. Let's pull that up and couple that with his $200 hauler and just read this. This is why people need to love this guy and content. I tried to give negative question and Smitty took it like a champ. But I don't even think, Russian, I appreciate you, but I don't think it was a negative question, though, to be honest. Like, I could take a negative question, but it wasn't, because I even said this when I talked about him. We don't have any, for sure, anything with Skattebo. We need to treat it like Krosky Merritt in week 2. Broke our hearts. Krosky Merritt broke our hearts in week 2. You know, I don't know that we can cement anything in, especially after that Krosky Merritt heartbroken situation where you started him and he gets you nothing. And I did it too. I had him in several leagues. It happens, you know, but I think Skattebo is in a little bit more positioned opportunity. And I think that while I don't like the Giants overall, they're moving the ball. You know, they're not winning or they're not going to be winners. They're not going to be, you know, playoff contending team come the end of the season, but they're moving the ball. They're staying competitive, and Skattebo fits that narrative. Like, Tracy has been very non-existent, and he, you know, he struggled and lost the job, fumbled the ball away at the end of the year last year. Skattebo's, he's the kind of guy that takes your job, so I'm very excited about him. But it's not negative to be like, could be a while. It could be, but it feels like it's trending in the right direction. So pump the brakes, yes. It's a great point to pump the brakes, but I certainly think that there's still an opportunity to start him in the craziest of scenarios, right? Like two double flex league. Worldwide, appreciate you dropping the $20 hauler, young man. Thank you very much. Russian, thank you for that $20 hauler. And I think we're maybe caught up on the 20s, except for the ones that are on screen. Viral 0-2. Dak Prescott, Charbonnet, and Gibbs. London, Garrett Wilson, Pickens. I like the squad. Any moves? Honestly, I think Dak is fine. I think Gibbs and Sharps it's risky if Sharps is your running back too, but I don't think he is. Looking at your roster, you're still starting Hendy right now over Charbonnet. Gibbs and Hendy, trust in that. London, Garrett Wilson, Pickens is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing I'm maybe doing with this team, and it's funny because the people dropping $20 haulers, they have like, it just ironically, again, it's not that I want to give, I want to give the $1.99 and the $20 hauler the same advice. I'm not saying somebody gets special treatment, but I feel guilty when I look at a $20 hauler team and I'm like, your team looks good. I don't know that I'm moving a whole lot. I'm not selling Garrett Wilson high. There's not a lot to advise you to do. And I'm not trading Gibbs off. You can't sell London low. You can't sell Garrett Wilson low. I like that you have Hendy. The thing I'm probably trying to accomplish with this team, you're waiting on Benson to get you some trade value. Is that Deebo Samuel? I think that is. So Deebo Samuel is the trade piece here. Go to the Walker owner and see what Charbonnet and Deebo can get you in terms of a running back. Go to anybody that needs, a wide receiver badly and see if you can trade. It has a surplus of running backs. See if you can go get any one of these doubted RBs. Even a Deebo for a Chuba Hubbard or a Deebo for Hall and you give up Charbonnet. It makes sense. Even Pickens and Deebo together to a wide receiver needy team that has a wide receiver that makes sense. If that's Deebo Samuel, that's fantastic. There's a lot to work with if that's Deebo Samuel. And I'm definitely maybe looking to trade Pickens on a touchdown week. And I love either one. But Trey Henderson's your starter. Get him in there. Not doing much with this team. Of course, if I could get a top 5 running back using Deebo, or top 5 quarterback, I would upgrade Dak Prescott. I think that would be huge. Some people are willing to move quarterbacks right now because they're 0-2. And they need to make a move. That's a great team, though. There's not much you can do. Go to the Walker owner. That's your key, I think, move. 8-man team from Wes. Appreciate you. So the waiver wire is stacked. My team is Josh Allen, Genty, Kyron, Lamb, MHJ, Buka, Debo. Great team. Again, not much to give you advice on here. Harvey, Judkins, JCM, Sharps, Rice. Waivers has Nix, May, Love, Ramondre, Scat, Tootin. You got to get Tootin. Tootin's a fantastic ad right now. I'd rather have Tootin over... Jeez, man. These 8-man leagues are so tough. Your tight end is fanning. I don't know that you can get him. I don't know if you can get Tootin. Who are you going to cut? MHJ? I can't cut MHJ. I know you want to. All of us want to right now. Damn MHJ. Is Tootin better than JCM? Maybe. Is Tootin better than Sharps? Maybe. I don't know. Chat, can we vote Tootin? Can we vote Tootin, JCM, and Sharps right now, please? And I assume you can't put Rice on IR, or he's already in IR. I don't know what to tell you on this one. Tootin's not quite there yet, so to get rid of JCM doesn't make sense. To get rid of Sharps, it's a hard sell for me, although you can monitor the hell out of Sharps and pick him right back up. Guys, can we vote on this one? Do we take... He can't take Drake May. And the quarterbacks are plentiful, I can tell you right now, in an 8-man league. What are we doing? Are we cutting Sharps or JCM for Tootin? Are we cutting Sharps or JCM for Tootin? Is it worth doing? Stay put, 1 vote. Someone said cut JCM. JCM, Skattebo. I don't know, bro. This is one of those ones where you're going to go one direction, you're going to make the wrong move, man. It's so hard in an 8-man league. Someone said cut Sharps. I guess go get Tootin, cut Sharps for now, monitor the hell out of him. Sharps is as much of a league winner as Tootin, though. Just understand that. You got to be really careful on that one. And if you feel uneasy about that at all, just stand down. Because sometimes standing down is the best move. But if you were trying to make a bold move and get a little bit of a jump on this, I mean, Tootin is looking solid. 10-man half PPR, Tucker Kraft, Juwan Johnson available, have Njoku. How much fab would you spend on aggressive fab league? A moderately aggressive fab league, I think is what you're trying to say. I would probably say I'm dropping. Go to your history for weeks 1 and 2. What is the highest drop so far? I up that by like $5 or $10 out of the 100 or 200, whatever the fab is. I don't know that I would do a full load drop unless you think it's warranted, but Kraft is so valuable via trade. If you need to do a full load drop, do it. If you don't need to do it, don't do it. I can't be responsible for you misjudging what the league is going to do. I can only tell you that he is worth a full load drop if a full load drop is required. Why? Because you could trade Kraft right now in a player upgrade that wins you a league. You can take a running back 2 and turn him into a slightly up that tier a little bit into a running back 1 lower end. You can move a wide receiver that's like Keenan Allen into a BTJ, take a gamble. You could take a player that is very, very questionable running back that is good though, or somebody that's playing well, like let's say like Walker. Walker's very good, but it's still risky, right? With the Charbonnet divide, you just don't know. So if you could take Walker and turn him into a much safer Chase Brown, who's doubted right now, because you can give him Tucker Kraft, then that's worth a full load drop. That's equivalent to like a first round pick in a trade, because you can just throw that player on this and make a move happen that you shouldn't make a move. So definitely go get, and then also Burrow owner, Dak, Jones, Browning, Williams are on waivers. I would go after Dak near full load drop as well. Then May, then Browning in that order. Browning's maybe safer, but I like May a little bit more, but that's tough. You could almost do 50-50, 50% on Dak, 50% on Tucker Kraft, but I think Tucker Kraft gets you into a league-winning move. 12-man, thank you for the super chat. Owen, thank you for the $20 hauler. 12-man PPR, 1.5 PPR for tight ends. Wow, tight end premium. Pat, Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Bucky. Wow, Hendy, Pickens, Worthy, Keon. Okay, so wide receivers are waiting for Rice to get into full, mode. I think that if you're 1-1, or especially if you're 2-0, you're fine waiting on Rice. This is a good team. I'm flexing Hendy and bench this week. Not panicking on Hendy or Henry either. Don't panic on Henry. Don't panic on Hendy. Your team is fantastic. Because you can't trade Henry high this week anyway off of 11 carry, 21 yard, I believe, affair. Basically, Hendy outscored Henry last week. I don't think you can make any moves. And look, Keenan Allen's steady. Pickens steady. You know, Worthy, I think will be fine this week. I throw Worthy back out there. I think you're okay going one more week before we decide if you need to make some sort of weird move. But you're just waiting on Rice, bro. If you can be even 3-3 walking out of the 6 games and then get Rice back, you're going to explode because you're going to have a receiver that you shouldn't have with that team. Those running backs, you should not have a top 5 wide receiver. You should not. Having a top 5 wide receiver like freaking Rice when you have Bucky and that combo of quarterback and 2 running backs, Bucky and Henry, is insane. So congrats on building that team. It's fantastic. We've got a $19.99 hauler here, and then also I think we're caught up on the 20s. Let me just answer this one, then I'll go straight into the other super chats. This is from Ivy, 2-0 PPR. Jalen Hurts. You can jump the line with a $20 hauler, so just let you know, guys. I'm sorry for those that dropped the $5 or whatever. I'm going to get to it, I promise. 2-0 PPR, Hurts, Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, CD Lamb, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Warren. Love the team. Cortland Sutton. Got a lot of good firepower here. Waddle, and he moves. I definitely like trading Waddle. I like trading Walker right now, even though Walker is very solid. There's still a lot of question marks, you know. Even if you're wrong, as long as you get into a safer vehicle, you're not really mad at yourself for trading away Kenneth Walker if you're getting a safer vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shouldn't be making a trade you live to regret if the player does well. You want to make a trade to where any trade you make, you always want to make it if you're misjudging the player you're sending away. If you're sending away a Walker on that you're risky, you feel like he's risky, and he does well and you were wrong, you want to still break even on the trade. That's a good trade when you do that, when you're able to say, I still did well. Your team looks so good right now. CD Lamb, JSN, Tyler Warren, Kenneth Walker playing well. I don't see you have Sharps. I guess I get Sharps for like Waddle. Or go get Sharps using potentially Juwan Johnson, right? I don't mind keeping Juwan Johnson, but I don't mind trading him as well if he can get you a Sharp and a just to secure up that running back room. Then I'm not worried about it. Other than that, I'm trying to get Chase Brown on the cheap. I'm trying to get Genty on the cheap using Walker. And honestly, throwing in a Juwan, throwing in a Sutton, throwing in something like that could get it done. Tootin's going to have some tremendous value for you soon to give you some trade potential. But at 2-0, I probably am only messing with those kinds of moves right now. Would I try and go get, I think it's Charbonnet or using Walker and Sutton to go get Chase Brown to go get a Genty. And I would do that. I would trade Walker for Genty straight up if you can. And I've seen some people doing weird stuff like that right now. So definitely entertain anything you can right now in that realm. Jesse with the $4.99 hauler. Appreciate you, Jesse. Lamar for Herbert and Rashee Rice. I'd probably say right now I wouldn't, unless you're 2-0. And then, you know, you could think about this, but at the same time, Lamar scoring so many points, carrying people. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Also, should I do Chuba and McBride for Tyler Warren and Derrick Henry? I'm again going to say no there because I think Tyler Warren's so good. You don't know if he could rival McBride all year. McBride's a name that we love, but he's also part name with Kyler right now. And this Gannon-led offense, I don't know how I feel about McBride over Tyler Warren enough to close the gap between what probably will be a big gap between Derrick Henry and Chuba Hubbard. So I'm going to go ahead and say stand down on that one, kind sir. Chris, appreciate your super chat here. Nico for London PPR. Running backs are Hubbard, Hampton, Skattebo. Should I trade Hubbard and wide receiver for running back? I don't mind that. Nico for London, I'd probably rather have Nico right now just because I feel like I'm a little worried about the shoulder with London, although Nico has trouble staying healthy at the same time. And London still is getting massive target share that is not something you should overlook. So London is not somebody I'm panicked on, but I do think Nico is a little bit safer. And Hampton, I'm worried like crazy about. Yeah. Hubbard and a wide receiver for a running back. Chase Brown, Hubbard for Genty, and even getting something. You might get something making that trade. I'm very much in the business of trading for Genty right now, as you can see right here. What running backs can I package Hampton and Buka for? Probably Chase Brown, probably Achane, probably Bucky off of the concern about Rachaad White. Past that, going to be hard to get anything else. Also have an offer, Buka for London straight up. Honestly, Buka's safer. London's higher risk, higher reward. So if you need something, chat, can we vote on that? Are we taking London or Buka? It's really hard to turn down London, though. I mean, we're 2 weeks in, and London's a top 5 potential wide receiver. I'm not ready to give up on. And I think that tough matchup for the Falcons last week. I don't know. I think if you got other Buka shares, take the shot on London. Yeah, London. The chat is voting London. Majority are voting London. There's some Buka, but I think you definitely want to potentially go get London. We're not talking about Puka. We're talking about Buka. I would rather have London. If it were Puka, yes, it would be Puka. But no, it's London versus Mecca Buka. Go get London, especially if you at least have one share of a Buka somewhere else. $10 hauler from Ron. Appreciate you for the super chat. 8-man PPR Lamar Bijan. Damn it. I'm so used to saying Bijan now. I can't get back to Bijan. He wants to be called Bijan now, which is the greatest news ever, but it's hard to even go back. Lamar, Bijan, Jacob, Sharps, Hendy, Harvey, JCM, BTJ, Nico. Like this team a lot. I'm trying to move Hill. You got Igbuka, you got Pickens. I'm trying to move Hill and maybe Sharps to the Walker owner for one player. I'm trying to move Hill and Jacobs for a running back upgrade. Go buy Derrick Henry on the panic. Go buy a potential Achane or Bucky using Jacobs and Hill, honestly. And I like Jacobs. There's nothing wrong with Jacobs, but I definitely would take Bucky. So those are moves I would make. Kind sir, appreciate you for the super chat. Start Ramondre over Hendy. You could call that safer, but I'm still starting Hendy, I think. But I'm a risk taker, and I don't want to have Hendy on the bench the day he pops off. But let's take that as the week comes. Maybe we got more information on Hendy's potential workload. Full PPR, drop one, Andrews likely, or Fannin. I'm probably dropping Andrews, bro. He seems lifeless out there. So definitely not excited about him. My Hendy and Debo for Genty. I'd rather have Hendy and Debo because Debo's outplaying Genty right now. Not saying that will continue, but I do think Hendy will rise up. I do love Genty, but there's concerns with the offense, so I'm going to take Hendy and Debo. But it's arguable you could get me to sway a little bit, I think, with a little bit of an argument. I have JD5, Penix Jr., Hampton, Brees, Harvey, Charbonnet, Tootin, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, Fannin, Ingram for redraft 1-for-1 trades. I would say with your team with Neighbors and Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson, you're fantastic there. I mean, that's unbelievable. And I actually really like this team a lot. The only thing I'm trying to maybe do is get Hampton and Charbonnet, or Hampton and maybe Hunter, or Hampton and Garrett Wilson, and you bank on Hunter bouncing back. Hampton and Garrett Wilson for that Bucky, for that Achane, for that maybe even Chase Brown. I would trade Hampton. And it's so hard because you do kind of want a running back. Hampton and Hunter for Chuba. Hampton and Hunter for Chase Brown. Hampton and Hunter for Breece Hall. Breece Hall's pretty underrated right now, my boy. So there's that. Let me swing down to these. This is a $50 super chat from What's the Word? Appreciate you, young man. You're getting immediate attention. Hang tight real quickly. And I think there was another $20 hauler here from Owen, thank you for the $20 hauler, young man. And let me see if there's any other $20 haulers that got dropped. I think I'm caught up right now. Oh, no, here's one. Oh, Ivy. Yeah, I got Ivy's already. Okay, so from this $50 hauler, my boy, you get this celebration.
$50. Give me $50 hauler. Get by the brother, Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for the $50 hauler, young man. I appreciate you very much. Smitty just got a trade offer. Javonte for Puka. You take Puka side on this. It's not even close. Look, Javonte's playing well, but come on. Puka Nacua is going crazy. 12-man PPR. I have JJ Puka, Lad. I don't care if you need running back help. You got to get something different. You don't take the highest offer you get. If you wanted to trade a player, let's say, Puka for, you would want to get like Chase Brown and BTJ, and that's maybe not even getting enough. You know what I'm saying? You want to get a Bucky and BTJ. You want to get a Bucky or Achane or Chase Brown at the very least with a player for Puka, and those players rank below Puka, so you need something else. Travis Hunter and Bucky at least giving you a shot if you're trading Puka Nacua. You know, something like that. And that's probably not even enough. People probably wouldn't do that in the chat. Just trying to give you an example of, you need something significant. You need Breece Hall and I don't know. You need like a Breece Hall and let me see if I can find a wide receiver that makes enough sense. Like, you need to trust Adams, potentially Rashee Rice and Breece Hall for Puka. You know, if you can weather through that, but you can't trade Puka. Absolutely not. All right. So thank you. Owen says, I also asking, who should I flex this week since I'm benching Hendy? 2 flex PPR, 1.5. Fannin, Worthy, or Hendy. Probably Worthy, assuming the news is good, you know, walking into Sunday. But I think, you know, Hendy's probably, we're just waiting and seeing on that one. Hendy could vault ahead of him if there was some sort of indication he's going to get a lot more work. I think Keon's okay, Fannin's okay, but as long as Worthy's good, let's say Worthy's sketchy and Hendy's sketchy, then I guess Fannin would be your safest call. Keon's okay too. It's kind of a coin toss between those two, but I'm hoping that Worthy has everything you need news-wise to make that decision. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you both for the super chats. All right, let me swing back over to the next super chat that I had not answered yet from in order in which they're received line of super chats. 12-team redraft team is JD5, Bucky, Genty, Neighbors, Adams, Debo, Egbuka, Hunter, JCM, Tootin, Fannin, Pitts. Should I do McBride for JCM and Benson and Fannin? Do McBride for JCM, Benson, Fannin? Absolutely not. I would not do that. Thank you for the super chat. Hold strong on that. That's not enough. That's not enough, bro. You got to get way more than that. You're buying on values that haven't even solidified yet. 12-team need a running back 1-on-1. JD5, Penix, Lamb, Debo, Garrett Wilson, Addison, Bucky, Harvey. I don't know what you could do in this situation, bro, other than maybe you're either waiting on Addison or trying to trade Addison. But Bucky, leave alone. I don't even try and dilute him because of the Rachaad White concerns, which are so, I think, wrongly placed. But you're probably looking at needing to divide and conquer Lamb if you want to do anything. And I don't know that I'm doing anything yet. I think I wait. I think I put Harvey in this week. It's hard. Or Samson's, you know, maybe a tad safer. Or you're just trying to buy. Like, I wonder if you could get using Addison and Samson get Hampton. And that's risky, but I'm just saying you could get something. I don't know. The waiver wire, Skattebo out there. If you were to divide anything up, you're not getting what you deserve out of Garrett Wilson. You're probably not getting what you deserve out of Debo, to be honest, with the JD5 knee injury and all that. People just aren't valuing Debo. It's crazy. You could try. Chase Brown, try it. Genty, try it. Debo for Genty, try it. Throw it out there. Debo and Samson for Genty, I'd do that. For Chase Brown, for Breece Hall. So try that. But don't trade Lamb until, I think, a week from now. And then we explore if Lamb goes ballistic. And I'd wait for Lamb to go ballistic. You don't have to make this move now. You might be able to turn Lamb chops into 2 players, especially one that's doubted still. I'm 2-0. Would you trade Josh Allen for Kyler and BTJ? Not if you're 2-0, pal. Absolutely not. Kyler is not as good as Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the guy. There's still question marks about BTJ. So you can't trade for BTJ on spec and get, like, you know, pay the old price tag at all. Start 2, Stafford, Mason, Jones, or Kyron. I'm starting, Mason with Jones out, Kyron. I'm going Kyron, and if this is, I'm assuming this is a super flex, I'm going probably Kyron and Stafford, but at the same time, bro, if Mason is going to outscore Stafford by your scoring system. And honestly, you're going to have to look at like last week and the week prior and then average them. I wouldn't take just last week. Take both weeks, average them, and see what they're doing comparatively to, let's call it what running back would be a good example of what to expect, I would say. Let's go off of, let's see here. Who had a week last week? Bucky. Use Bucky's week. Did Stafford, on average, over 2 weeks, outscore Bucky last week in week 2? Check that out, and if that's the case, then Stafford's your start. But some Superflex scoring formats do not have, quarterbacks outscoring a guy like Mason. So, but I'm not sitting Kyron. Bro. Trade Buka for Adams and Hendy. I would probably take Adams and Hendy over Emeka Buka if I needed a move. I traded a Doomsday for BTJ. But I'll be honest, man. I mean, Adams is playing great. Hendy's got so much appeal that I think this move makes sense if you need to make a move. If you're 2-0 and you're balling out, I don't think I'm doing anything. But I would definitely do that if I needed a spark. I needed some value. Trade my Knicks and Gibbs for JD5 and Chase Brown. I would take Gibbs and Knicks over JD5 and Chase Brown, especially with the injury, bro. It's just not worth it. Devontae Smith for Harvey. I'd rather have Harvey and wait on that, bro. Absolutely. Viral can drop Thornton for Franklin. Absolutely. Franklin is a very, very good ad right now. And as you can see from the waiver wire, I have Thornton below. Thornton at the bottom because we're disappointed, and we moved him in being upset. But yeah, you can see Franklin's near the top of the waiver wire board, bro. So definitely. Hendy, Bowers, BTJ for Brees, JSN, Kincaid. Give me, wow. Look at that. Look at this. Can you imagine if we said before week 1 kicked off that if we got a time machine and I came back and said, you're going to contemplate after 2 weeks of football, even you, Smitty, Brees, JSN, and Kincaid over Hendy, Bowers, and BTJ. I would have said you're absolutely asinine. You don't even know. You don't even know what you're talking about. I'm still taking the Hendy, Bowers, BTJ side. I think. I'm not giving up on BTJ, and I don't think I give up on Bowers either. You know what? I don't know. This is really close. I think I'm taking the Bowers, BTJ, Hendy side. But chat, can you vote on this? This is such a tough one. Got a JSN vote. I got 2 or 3 Hendy votes. Vote on this one. I'm gonna lean Hendy side. I'm not gonna be the one to doubt Bowers and get rid of him on the low when he's dealing with an injury. He's gonna probably be no worse for the wear coming out of the game. Hendy side's winning in the chat anyway. For my last question, league is 1 QB PPRs. Hill, I have no idea what this is referring to, though. You got to ask the question. I don't have anything in front. Like, they got to be standalone, my boy. I think here's another one from you. For my last question, 1 QB PPRs. Again, this doesn't help me at all. I have nothing in front of me right now. And no recollection of anything. You got to send me. Maybe there's another question somewhere. I don't know that I come across. But please ask everything in the question. $14 hauler, 1-1, 10-man PPR, Herbert, Genty, Hampton, Neighbors. You see how I'm rolling through all this? There's no way I can try and figure something like that out while I'm trying to blast through these. Every question, guys, has to be standalone. 1-1, 10-man PPR, Herbert, Genty, Hampton, Neighbors, Buka. Love the team craft, Worthy, Sharps. Fantastic squad. Traded McLaurin for Kamara. That could go either way. They're both questionable to a degree, you know. The other moves, thanks, Smitty. I would say with this team, not moving the wide receivers. Who's your back? Do you have a back? Fannin. Everyone always says Fannin when they've got Kraft. I would explore what Kraft could turn Hampton into. Chase Brown, Brees Hall, Genty. You already got Genty. Yeah, Chase Brown, Brees Hall, H-Hand, Bucky. If I could turn Hampton and Kraft, and even if you got to throw in like a I don't know, let's go Kamara and Kraft for Bucky and something. I'm doing that. Make sure you get something, but I'm doing that. That's where my mind's at with this team, my boy. And Jalen Warren or Walker for MHJ. I'd probably keep Walker. And honestly, Jalen Warren's better than MHJ right now. But if you need a wide receiver and you can't use both running backs in your lineup, it makes sense to go get MHJ on the cheap. I still believe in MHJ. But yes, his situation is dog water right now. But I still, at this cost of entry, it's a no-brainer if you didn't need Jaylen Warren. I do like Jaylen Warren, though. He looks really good. 0-2, Hurts, Penix Jr., Nico, Ladd, Pittman, Keenan Allen. Not a lot to trade here, I'm going to be honest, bro. I don't know what to tell you. The only move you can make is trade Hurts just into a receiver or running back. Don't even try to get a quarterback back. Just use Penix Jr. Hurts for Hall, Hurts for Chase Brown, Hurts for Genty, Hurts for BTJ, and a player like Hampton, and you throw in something. But Hurts, and then maybe you're trading Nico for a BTJ and a player. Unfortunately, you have Harvey and Hendy and all these guys, but those would be the kind of players that try and get thrown in. Maybe a Travis Hunter and BTJ something more. Nico down to BTJ and you get something significant. Walker, Judkins, I hate to even say to do that straight up, but you're going to have to, that team's not going to win that in that state. So you're going to have to make some sort of gamble, but make sure you're getting significant pieces. I'd personally trade Hurts. I would do it. Feel better about Walker after this week. Do you believe that he will get more carries? I don't know. We felt like everyone was in panic mode about Walker coming out of week 1. Only 1 week has passed since, and he did well. But we're not in any sort of secure Walker is going to get this or Sharps is going to get this. I think it's still very, very much in flux. Would I lean toward Walker now? Yes, I would. But is Walker capable of getting banged up or them doing a 50-50 divide and saying we're going with the strengths of each player per matchup? It certainly could go that way. But I do feel a lot more confident as a running back 2 out of Walker. Sure, absolutely. But am I still considering trading Walker right now if I don't have Charbonnet? Absolutely. Nix, Bucky, Genty, Hendy, Tootin, Benson, Scat. 0-2, what should you do? Start 3, Hunter, Worthy, Scat. Start 3 at a Hunter, Worthy, Scat. I don't know. There's only 3 players right there. So if I'm ranking them, if that helps you, I would say probably Hunter, Worthy, Scat in that order. I still believe in Hunter. As far as your team goes, I'm not moving the RBs. I really like them, actually. I'm maybe trying to move Benson or Scat or Tootin later, but not now. I'm contemplating at 0-2, even though I love Rice and I want everyone to go get Rice and trade. The person that drafted him that's 0-2 might have to send him for BTJ. Go get BTJ, maybe give up one of those Benson, Skattebo, Tootin running backs to maybe get it done. 7, but you probably need to make a move, my guy. Trade JCM and BTJ for Herbert and JSN. I would take Herbert and JSN. That's a good move. That's a very solid move. Assuming you can use Herbert, it is a very good move. Smitty, 0-2. What do you think of Rice? What do I do with Rice? If you're 0-2, you probably got to try and get that BTJ, that Breece Hall, that Hendy, or something. You've got Hendy already. Value. BTJ makes a lot of sense for people wanting to take a risk using Rashee Rice right now. Hunter, that would be my number 1 advice for anybody with that situation. We've got a couple super chats here. $150 hauler from Michael. Michael, where you been? So good to see you here, pal. Michael with the $50 hauler on screen. Michael, thank you so much. Let me just see if I've got any other. BBQ with a $20 hauler. Do I have any gifted memberships that I've ignored as I've been ripping through these? I'm so sorry, guys, if anybody has dropped gifted memberships. I don't know that we have had any yet. It's not a problem. I just want to make sure I'm not making people freaking pissed off because they're not getting recognition. Thank you, BBQ, for your $20 hauler. Thank you. I think I've got all the $20 haulers on screen, these 2 right here, then back to the order in which they were received. Michael, $50 hauler. My boy, let me give you that celebration you deserve, young man.
Give me $50 hauler.
Thank you, Michael. Good to see you, pal. Waiver question. I have Golden. Would you hold him or should I pick up Wandell or A.O. Manor, Downs, or Franklin? I think A.O. Manor is better than all of them. I think A.O. Manor, this is the last week that he'll be sitting there at this really high percentage of availability. In fact, I probably have him way too low here, if I'm being honest. Let me move him up. I kind of like him. Actually, it's weird because you're asking me Wandell and I'm answering Ao Manor over him. So guess what? I'm moving him up. This is testing my actual value by asking me the question. I think he might be the top pickup of the week. Maybe Keenan Allen actually is the top pickup of the week. We'll put Keenan Allen right here. We'll put Ao Manor right here. I think we could just move everybody down and make some room. Renfro's actually not bad. Coleman's still very solid, but hard to trust. Will be inconsistent. Booty's going to be inconsistent as well, but he did have a touchdown, and everyone's ripping on him this week when I had him high. They're like, oh, I don't know, Smitty. So I'm going to put Ao Manor. I'm going to put Wandell slightly ahead of obviously ahead of Tesla. Then I'm going to put Ao Manor right here, and then I'm going to put Keenan Allen as maybe the slight edge pickup of the week at wide receiver if available. But I like Ao Manor better than Wandell right now by a hair. Not by a ton, but by a hair. So let's move it around like that. That makes the most sense. Great question, though. And I think a lot of people are maybe unaware of Ao Manor having just this potential, I would say, like high-end wide receiver 3 appeal. So very, very much like him. Franklin's good as well. That would be my wide receiver 5. Looking forward to a victory lap when these rookies become league winners. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, Michael. And definitely Ao Manor. I think he's going to be awesome this week. And Ward looks pretty good. He's not. I think he looks pretty good considering all the matchups and everything at play. Like, I think he's going to develop real nicely in the next couple weeks. Rookies have to adjust to the speed of the pro game. You are drafting talent. It takes time to learn the new system, and every coach handles them differently. Rookies ultimately make up a huge jump in weeks 6 through 8 and will win you leagues. Exactly, BBQ. Appreciate your knowledge and wisdom on the rookie front. Everybody needs to go consume the rookies, not run away from them, and don't sell them low. Don't give up on them, especially Harvey. People giving up on Harvey's wild. He hasn't even failed. Thinking of trading Sharps +1 of Pickens, Ted, or Hunter to the Walker owner for BTJ or Rice. I think it's an excellent idea. I would try and keep Ted probably. I like Pickens a lot too, but Ted is probably the safest of Pickens, Ted, and Hunter. Hunter eventually, I think, pops off, so I don't know that I want to trade Hunter either. Sharps and Pickens for BTJ or Rice makes a lot of sense. Also have JD5, Achane, Connor, Benson, Mason, London, 3 for 1 in doubles. Maybe just hold for now. Mason, maybe you're trading Mason in a deal. I would trade Mason for Rice or BTJ, honestly, if you can pull that off. And I like Mason, but I definitely am considering that if I'm you, just to get that value at wide receiver. And I don't mind keeping Sharps. I don't mind keeping Tet and those boys. So Mason's a good trade piece. I also love Mason, though. I also like starting Mason. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, kind sir, for the super. Back to the order of things here. Traded Genty for Chase Brown and Chubb. I'm fine with Chase Brown over Genty alone. Chubb doesn't do much for me, but I don't mind that addition. QBs, JD5, JJ McCarthy, and Ward. Options on the waiver wire, Wentz, Browning. Wow, you got hit hard. Browning's probably the safest. Browning, and then probably Wentz. But Browning for sure. Need one and one to start over Ward in the super flex position. Okay, yeah, starting Ward and Browning. Pretty easy call. Thank you for the super chat. Another moment of silence for Austin Eckler. When Melvin Gordon held out and the Chargers were able to draft Eckler in the 8th round, and the rest is history. He deserves a salute. He definitely does. Austin, thank you for all the amazing years of fantasy. And I'm not mad at you for canceling on the show. He's supposed to come on the show last year, had it all planned out, and then he backed out. His publicist lady reached out to me and was like, "We're gonna cancel," and I just don't think it's the right move right now. He's pretty busy, and that kind of irked me. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. He went down in my rankings immediately and had a bad year. 10-man PPR. This is last year. 2-0. May, Nix, Achane, Bucky, Gibbs, Pearsall, Hunter, Sharps, Hendy, Keon. Owner of CD is low on Genty and K9. Offered me CD, Genty, K9 for Achane, Gibbs, and Marv. Achane, Gibbs, and Marv for CD, Genty, K9. Give me Achane, Gibbs, and Marv. But there are some pros and cons to it, but I definitely take that. That's awesome. That's awesome, bro. Traded Garrett Wilson and Monty for Chase Brown. I'm on board with that trade. Start Debo or Pickens. I'm going Debo if JD5 plays. If JD5 doesn't play, maybe I go Pickens for safety, honestly. Through week 6, pick up Wandell Franklin or Scat. I'm going to go Scat for the home run capabilities, my boy. Home run capabilities. How should I, Ruben? I have Mason. You should be excited about Mason, bro. Let's see here. We got Smitty. Genty owner is trying to trade Gibbs for Kyron and Genty. No, I'm not trading Gibbs. I know it seems like a good move on paper just because of the names you're reading off, but you can't trade Jahmyr Gibbs. 0-2, should I trade away Lamb, Bowers, and Judkins for McBride, Javonte, and Drake London? No, I'm not trading Lamb and Bowers and Judkins away for that. Absolutely not. Guys, we're overthinking some things here. Those are two no-go trades for me right in a row, back-to-back. Should I trade Mike Evans and McBride for Jettas and Mason? I would probably take... I'd probably take McBride and Evans. I'm probably not doing that. Look, I think Evans is going to bounce back a little bit. I love JJ, but I'm worried about whether JJ is going to be quite JJ this year. And I like Mason. Chad, am I off on that? Let me know, because I feel like it's very, very close for me. Mike Evans, let's let the chat decide this one, because I'm wavering. I'm already wavering. Evans and McBride or JJ and Mason. I like Mason right now. I really, really do. But are we getting ahead of ourselves trying to expect the world out of him? And JJ's got a carousel of confusion going on at the quarterback position. Not saying JJ can't produce, but will he be producing beyond Evans to the degree you're passing up on a McBride? So, chat, vote on this one. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm leaning McBride and Evans because I like McBride and Evans a bit. Depends on the team build. Evans McBride side, says Trevor. I might be wrong. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Evans and McBride side. It seems like the Evans McBride side is winning. But, there's pros and cons to all of it. I think we got another $20 super chat down here from Cam. Appreciate you dropping the super, my boy. $20 holler. Hey, Smitty, 10-team, full half PPR. Starters are Baker, McCaffrey, Achane, Higgins, Keenan Allen, Kraft, Devontae Smith, ETN, bench, Charbonnet. You got Charbonnet and Walker, so that's pretty secure. I'm pretty comfortable with this squad. Oh, you don't have Walker. I'm sorry. You just have Sharps. Thank you. You're the GOAT, bro, not me. Appreciate you, Killer Cam. I'm holding on this team potentially with ETN in the lineup. I'd maybe try and move ETN and Waddle for like a Chase Brown or I don't know, like even if you go wide receiver, ETN and Waddle for, I don't know, man. ETN and Waddle for ETN and Waddle. Let's see. ETN and Waddle for London. ETN and Waddle for London and something. ETN and Waddle for Nico. People are scared about Nico right now. ETN and Waddle for JJ. Waddle and JMO for... I'd trade JMO for BTJ. Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I guess I go back and forth on that one. That was tough. I still believe in BTJ. I'm not giving up on the number 4 wide receiver last year because he had a bad game and he was getting tired of getting fed hospital balls and he had a really, really bad game. He did. His wrist was reportedly bothering him. I don't know. I just still believe in him. And so I like JMO a lot. I do, but JMO's going to be that guy that has to produce on low volume and he'll do it. I mean, but I think that's a good potential player where you're maybe getting that wide receiver 1. How about Higgins and Charbonnet or Higgins and Waddle for BTJ? Why don't we try shooting lower? Maybe I'm overpaying. Because it seems like I'm maybe overpaying. I might be overestimating the value people have for BTJ. 12-team PPR 0-2. AJB, Tet, Fannin, JCM, Mason, bench, Rice. Okay, so 0-2, you're having to explore trading Rice. And I think with this squad here, I don't trade Bijan. I don't trade Chase Brown. You can recover without doing anything. I would try AJB for BTJ. AJB for BTJ. AJB and DJ Moore for BTJ. Try and keep Rice in this, actually. I'm trying to use AJB to get that player. And if I have to use AJB to go even get, let's say, an Adams or I like McLaurin and Evans as buy lows. Go AJB for Evans might be the solution. Then you keep Rice. Drop Pacheco and pick up Skattebo. I would, absolutely, Chris, for sure. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much, kind sir. Judkins, Samson over Judkins. I know I told you now. Bro, Samson's been outplaying him because Judkins has been out, but he's still been doing very, very well. So as far as talent goes, I do think Samson is probably more talented than him. He's been playing fantastic, but I've always said, I think you're misconstruing what I said. I said that the draft capital is there for Judkins, for Samson to probably have a very tough time clawing the job away from Judkins. I've said that all offseason, but I still believe the talent in Samson is better. I still truly believe that. And I think Samson's proved how good he is, how diverse he is. He's a great receiving back. So you're misconstruing what I said. Waiver pickup, Franklin or A.O. Manor. I'm going to go A.O. Manor because I think he's the most likely. He's the number one for his team. Whereas I think that there's a lot of volatility and kind of moving around in that Denver situation and back and forth between who's going to get more volume here or there. So, but I like both of them a lot. Danny says trade my Hampton and Quentin Johnston for Nico or BTJ. I would definitely take Nico or BTJ in that order. Thank you, kind sir, for the super chat. Appreciate you. This one here from Chubbs. Chubbs says 12 teams. Should I use my number one waiver pick on Pickens? I probably would. I don't know the full context to everything that, will there be better players? Is this a weird league? But yeah, that's a fantastic move. Drop Luther Burden or Dante Thornton for Troy Franklin. I would say, I don't know if it's worth the number one waiver claim if you think like a Skattebo or Tootin will be available or something like that. But I do think I would drop Thornton for Franklin, not Burden. But either one probably if I had to. 0-2, trade T and Javonte for London and Hendy. I'd trade them for just London. So yes, you get London and Hendy. That might be a league-winning move. Pick up Wandell, Amanor, or Franklin, as I've shown you. Amanor is my number one pickup of those guys. So thank you very much for the super chat. My Bucky and Neighbors and Benson for Abuka, Etienne, and Kyron. I'd rather have Bucky and Neighbors and Benson. It's close. Well, okay, Etienne, Kyron. Yeah, I think I would rather have Bucky and Neighbors. That's Benson. Benson climbs up. It's then it's over. But right now, there's questions until you have that third player try and hang with those guys. PPR have Chase, DK was offered Genty for my Abuka, except I don't know about that. Chad Abuka or Genty? Genty Abuka, please rate in the chat right now. Buka or Genty? I think I'd rather have Buka. I don't know. I love buying Genty low, but I still think Buka is unbelievable. He's on pace for 25 TDs. I'm not saying he holds that pace, but I just think you can't get rid of a guy scoring like he is. Like, it's a trick question because I would take Genty and something, but that's what the trade market commands, right? So you can't go trading Buka for Genty when the trade market commands you get more. If you get more, then I'm on board. You give me BTJ and Genty, I'll take that over Buka. Trade running backs Hall and Allen for Walker and Kraft. I think that's arguable trade for sure, especially if you have Sharps. If you don't, it's still doable. It depends on what Kraft does for you, obviously, and you wouldn't be trading for him if you didn't need him. So very arguable trade, to be honest. I don't think you can really say that one side's worse than the other. Full load drop on Kraft, absolutely, because of the value that gives you via trade. As I answered earlier in another question, same thing. Got Kyron for JCM and Olave. I'd rather have Kyron by a country mile. Would you trade Javonte for Chase Brown or JSN? I would trade Javonte for Chase Brown or JSN in that exact order. Yes, absolutely, I would. Doesn't mean I don't love Javonte. Yo, Smitty accepted a roster super chat that got lost. Asked a roster super chat that got lost. I did answer that. I think you just dropped that super chat thinking I lost it, but I just was trying to catch up. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate you. Killer Cam, you dropped that big wad. Thank you very much, and I did get to it. My AJB for BTJ. And Killer Cam, I'll look if there's another one. My AJB for BTJ, I'd rather have BTJ, and I would run. Yes. Take that trade and run. Take that trade and run, my guy. Start Tyler Warren Kraft, Waddle, and Hunter. We're going to go, man, both tight ends. Tyler Warren and Kraft are the safest plays right now. BBQ, thank you. I missed the offseason. The panic is like watching those people dodging bulls in Spain. I do, and it's not because I don't like when things are shaky. When we've had our best season ever, last year was probably the best season this show has ever had. I mean, we hit on so many levels. It was insane. It was there was turmoil at times, but from like week 4 or 5 on, if I remember, there was nothing but celebrations. There was some good and bad, obviously, always, but there's so much overwhelming good. We never had full-on panic from like week 5 on. And I'm hoping that's the way that it is this year. But even then, even at the peak of last year, the best season we've ever had in season, I still always enjoy the off season more when everything is a story and an upside play and just predictions and fun and hype. And it is very much my favorite part of the year, regardless of how things play out. It's just always going to be that way. One last thing, and post important. How is the family doing? Happiness runs through our family sacrifice. Thank you, pal. Everybody's good. Thank you, Russian. Appreciate you asking. Everybody's good. Your boy's busy, so, I'm definitely not around like I would love to be, but that's the nature of the job. Hunter, Scat, JCM, or RJ for second flex trade MHJ 4. It's a mouthful. I would say I'm going with JCM this week. I want to go Hunter, though. I'm tempted to go Hunter. Let's play this by ear as the week moves on. And then my next would be Hunter, JCM, or JCM, Hunter in that order. And unless we hear something about RJ Harvey. Any news would change it, obviously. Trade MHJ for Breece Hall, Hendy, Ladd. I think Ladd might be safer. Cowboys fan, but my defense sucks. What Giants did should not be focused for fantasy. Thank you, Russian. Yeah, the Dallas D is definitely a concern. 1-1 Wan'Dale Robinson flex for Rice or who? I'm not sure what we're saying here. Wan'Dale for Rice. I'd rather have Rice for the long term. Or who? I have Xavier Legette. I don't know what you're asking here because I don't think you're asking about a lineup question because Rice is obviously suspended, but I'd rather have Rice by a country mile. But I love Wan'Dale as a replacement for now, if that's what we're talking about. Trade Worthy and Keenan Allen for Chase Brown and Golden. Absolutely take Chase Brown on the cheap. Traded Kyron and Travis Hunter, Stevenson for Puka. Too much. Kyron, Travis Hunter, and Stevenson. No, I think Puka's worth that, bro. Honestly. What are you thinking if Kamara and Pickens for Kyron? I'd rather have probably Kyron, but honestly, it's safer to have Kamara and Pickens because you have it diluted into 2 players. So even if Kamara got hurt, so I guess it depends on your build. But in a vacuum, I want Kyron. Eddie, appreciate your super chat. Eddie says my JSN for Achane. I'd take Achane, but honestly, JSN's there's an argument to be made. And you have Pickens, Debo, Buka. I would say Achane though is just the much better player. Can I trade my AJB for BTJ right now? I would do that. I would take BTJ in a heartbeat. Love that move. Running back 2, Mason or ETN this week. You can't sit ETN. I like Mason a lot, though. Trade Sharps to the K9 owner for Jordan Mason. I think that's fine right now. I think it could backfire on you, but it's a good move for right now. Traded Jamar Chase and Coleman for Rice, BTJ, and Harvey. I think this will work out for you. So I do like that. It's a tough pill to swallow right now, but I think it makes a lot of sense. And if you're 3-3, you'll be fine. Traded Sharps for Hampton. What do you think? I would rather have, I don't know. I guess I'd rather have Charbonnet right now, but it's close. I mean, it could work out either way. Right now, it's neither one's in the position they want to be in. ETN or Kamara, I'm going to ETN. Trading one, I'm probably trading Kamara because I think he could fall off at some point, so I want to get rid of him. What's up, Smitty? Would you drop Harvey for Skattebo? I would not. I'm not dropping Harvey, bro. What are we doing, Josh? I mean, did I not just go over all of this? You got him there. You got him here. We just did a whole show on it. Did you know what I'm saying? I love Scat, but we're not doing this. We'll figure out how to get both of them, but we're not dropping Harvey. He's a league winner if he ever gets the shot, and I think that he will. 16-team half PPR. May, it's a tough 16-team league, man. Bucky, JCM, Blue, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson. That's a great team for a 16-team league. 2-0. I'm not moving it. Love your team. Not moving anything. You can't. I mean, you move something, you're getting your 16-team leagues. You move something, you're creating a big hole. And when you have balance at all, you just roll with it. And you got balance, bro. And you're waiting for Addison. Maybe you're trading Addison in a little bit. Addison and JCM for like a Breece Hall or a Chase Brown. I mean, you could try that now. BTJ, Addison for BTJ, Addison and man, I mean, maybe Ingram. People are hurting at tight end. Maybe Ingram and Addison for BTJ. Maybe Sampson gets thrown in there. I know it's hard giving up depth in this type of league, but I would definitely take BTJ on the cheap right now. So that's a good move, bro, if you can pull that off. But I love the team. I'm standing down. My AJB for BTJ. Definitely taking BTJ. We've had that question several times, and it's definitely one of my suggested moves of the week. 0-2, Cores, London, Adams, Hendy, Harvey. Trade London for Ladd and Chase Brown. I would definitely take Ladd and Chase Brown. That's a fantastic move. Offer Genty for BTJ. Do I take it? I'd rather have Genty, but I do like trading for BTJ for sure. I lost Burrow and Fields, and my backup is Williams. Goff, Browning, Wilson are on waivers. I'm taking Browning as the safest player there. Browning for sure. He's good. He's really good. Offered Harvey for Tootin. I'd rather have Harvey right now still. Do I counter with Benson? I would definitely get Benson for Tootin. But look, Tootin and Benson are both potential league winners. It just depends on who gets in there first. This one here from World of whatever the hell this is. I'm 0-2. Running backs are Chase Brown, Sharps, Hendy, and wide receivers are Neighbors, Nico, Rice, and Hunter. What running backs out of the list are most immediate upside trade ideas? I like the team a lot, actually. Chase Brown, Hendy will come through. Neighbors, Nico, Rice, Hunter. At 0-2, I consider trading Rice right now for Genty. I consider trading Rice for Hall. If you got to throw something else in, you do that. Would I trade Rice for Judkins? Not alone, but if I had something else included in that, then maybe. But I think that you're probably better off trusting Hendy and letting those wide receivers work for you. I know you're 0-2. I know I say Rice is a good player to move if you're 0-2 and have Rice. And Rice is the best go-get player if you don't have Rice and somebody else is 0-2 that has him. But I think if you can squeak out a couple wins and your team steps up, maybe you wait. Now, would I trade like Neighbors in your situation where you're really struggling at your RB2? Maybe if you were to move them down to like, you know, if someone's willing to give you, I don't even know, because it's hard to say, like, is Lamb or JJ attainable for Neighbors right now off that big game? Maybe, and then you get something else, like a bump somewhere. But other than that, I'm probably just standing down. Rice for BTJ makes some sense for a team like yours, so I do consider that. And I almost play the game of Hendy Sharps versus, you know, not getting that. But like, if you could trade Rice for Hall or Genty, I'm doing it. So in giving a little more, that's probably the move to make for you. Otherwise, I am considering Rice for BTJ, but I'm also fine not doing anything. Set my Superflex lineup. I keep messing it up. Mahomes, May. I definitely, I think May and Penix are tough, but I'd say Mahomes, May for now. Gibbs, Achane, and Brown. Also, would you keep Fannin over Ferguson? I'd probably keep Fannin over Ferguson personally, but Ferguson had a good day. But, I mean, as far as your running backs is Gibbs and Achane, you can't sit either one, but hopefully you can start Brown as your flex. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. This one here from Q. Q, thank you, pal, for the super chat. Q says 12-team PPR, Dak, Murray, Breece, Evans. I think I can get Kyron or Bucky. Help. If you were to get Kyron or Bucky, you're probably giving up Adams. I wouldn't give up St. Brown. I wouldn't give up Nico. Bucky or Kyron. I'd probably do it for Kyron. Adams and Kyron have similar value. I'd do it for Bucky. Adams for Bucky. Give up something else. Give up Fannin. Give up Ertz. Pickens and Man, Pickens and Monty and Adams for Bucky and something. I don't know that I give up Monty and Pickens for Kyron. Maybe I do that. Those are the moves to make, I suppose, bro. Appreciate you. Feel like I need upside wide receiver 1-for-1. Got Murray, Gibbs, Chase Brown, Walker, Stevenson, Swift, Judkins for BTJ, AJB for BTJ. Those are the easiest moves. McLaurin, Rice, Flowers, love all that. Keep that. Don't do anything with that. That's the move I make. Other wide receivers, I guess, you could go after Garrett Wilson on the cheap. You could go after potentially McLaurin, I suppose. 14-team PPR, Kyler, Bijan, Kyron, DJ Moore, Ted McMillan, Bowers, bench Rice. Love Rice. I love Rice, but I'm potentially trading Rice. I think, like I keep telling people, BTJ for Rice is a good move. DJ Moore and Ted for one player, potentially. I like Mike Evans for this team too. Maybe DJ Moore and Samson, or maybe you're trading Tet for Evans straight up, or Tet for BTJ straight up if you want to take a gamble somewhere. Santos, I mean, it's up to you if you believe in BTJ. I don't want to convince people to take BTJ if they don't like him. How do I look? 12-team, Dimes, Kyron, Judkins, Terry, Nico, Fannin, Metcalf. It's a good team. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm trying to maybe move JMO and Judkins for one stronger player. Maybe move Metcalf for BTJ. Maybe try and get Mike Evans in there for Metcalf. And you could throw in something like Golden or Judy or whatever. Or Skattebo maybe helps you make a move like that. Appreciate you with your super chat. 10-team half PPR starters are Mayfield, McCaffrey, HN, Higgins, Keenan Allen, Kraft, ETN bench. Thank you. Appreciate you, pal. This team's pretty solid, man. I don't know that you're moving much, I suppose. ETN, man. I'm trying to get into the BTJ Evans game with this team, just like I am for a lot of you. And JMO's pretty damn good by himself, but JMO and Higgins for one player, Sharps and Higgins, Sharps and JMO, Waddle and Higgins, Waddle and JMO, maybe without, ETN and Waddle, ETN and JMO might be able to get you what wide receiver could you get that? ETN and Waddle, ETN and JMO, what wide receiver could you go get? Nico, London would be great for you. London, Nico. I like Evans for you, using Higgins and like Waddle, JMO and Waddle. I think if I'm getting rid of ETN, I need to have London, or I need to have Nico. Or JJ as a buy low or something like that. That's it. Is that the super chat that I missed, bro? Is that the one you were talking about? I'm sorry about the delay on that one. Sometimes it's hard to know what you guys are saying when I'm getting like 5 messages. Over rostered, need to move Judkins off IR. Who do I drop? Probably going to drop on these players, Diggs. Diggs is the guy to drop. Pacheco or Diggs? I'd probably drop Diggs, I suppose. Pacheco's nothing to worry about either, though. What a bum he is right now. JSN and JK for Bucky and Pearsall. Yes, take Bucky and Pearsall and run. And then I try to flip Pearsall if I can using Chubb or Charbonnet or whatever. But that's an absolute home run smash of a trade. Smitty approved. $5 hauler, 12-man half PPR. Got offered Genty and Ridley for my Justin Jefferson and Diggs. I'd probably say no right now. That's not enough. You need to get Genty and a BTJ. Genty and an Evans, something like that. So I'm not doing that trade. Stand down on that. Appreciate your super chat. This one here from Carter. Carter, thank you for the $4.99 hauler. 12-team QB, JD5 Penix Jr., Genty, Harvey, Chubb, Mixon. Wide receivers are Olave, Garrett Wilson, Ladd, Rice, 0-2. Your same advice I'm giving everybody that's 0-2 with Rice. You got to just see what you can get. Chubb right now with a potential Ladd. Chubb right now with Rice. What can it get you? Rice for BTJ straight up. Chubb right now with Ladd to maybe get a potential Hendy or something like that on the cheap. Those moves are 2 moves I would explore, but definitely looking to get the Rice exchange for BTJ. Even Mike Evans for Rice makes some sense. I love Rice, but when you're 0-2, it's hard to move on with that. 16-team full PPR, that's tough. 16-teamer. Gibbs, Hampton, Hendy, Sharps, great team. Williams, I assume that's Jamison Williams. Ibuka, love the team. Rice, wow, 0-2. It sucks you're 0-2 with this team in a 16-team league. This is a great squad. You're probably going to have to bank on Hendy here. You trade Hampton and JMO away for that one wide receiver. Doubted London. Trade away. Oh, God, man, this is tough. I mean, look, in a 16-teamer, anybody's willing to take a gamble on a running back. Go to the Walker owner, see if you can trade them Sharps. Go try and give Hampton up maybe to get that. I'd give up Hampton for BTJ. Put that in your lineup as well. Williams, Jamison Williams, and Hampton for just, a slight London wide receiver upgrade is probably where I'm headed with that team. Very, very good squad. This one here from DJ, 12-man. What should I do with this team? JT, HN, you're not moving that. Waddle, Garrett Wilson, love it. Hunter, not much, bro. Not much. Go to the Walker owner, see what Sharps and Scat or Sharps and Hunter or Sharps and Waddle can get you in a slight upgrade. That's the only thing to do there with that team. 10-team 0-2. Love Gibson, HN, Debo, Tet. It's great team. Buka. I think you got unlucky. I'm not moving much, honestly. Hendy and Harvey waiting in the wings. Rice for Evans. Rice for BTJ. That's the only move for this team as well. I know that's a similar answer I'm giving. Rice for Breece Hall. Rice for Genty. Rice for, you could go Rice and potentially Fannin and try and get into a London. You could go Tyler Warren and Rice for a London or a Collins or something if you wanted to and throw Fannin in there. But I'd prefer to hit those other ones first. Russian Collusion says Smitty is the one night challenge for donation for this year. Is my name on the board in a one night chat? So the top super chat of all time, you're saying?
He is a unicorn.
On this board, if that's what you mean. I don't think you're on that board, but you almost are, my boy. Appreciate you. And Russian, you've been amazing, man, over the years. No pressure on doing anything. I'm very much appreciative of everything you've ever dropped on the channel. You're the man, the myth, the legend. DJ, I did a $100 super chat like a week ago or two ago before you made the scat video and was wondering if I could get on the scat video. Absolutely, DJ, 100%. You want the long one or the short one? I assume the long one, so this is going to take a second to play.
What is that smell? Someone needs me.
Help! Help! I'm going to lose my fantasy week! Somebody help! Call the Scat Man!
He's the Scat Man. He's scatting all around. Scoring loads when he's called upon. He will ground and pound. Scat Man, yeah. He's the guy you call when things go astray. Scat Man can score all day. He's the Scat Man. Scat Man. Scat Man. Scat Man. Scat Man will score TDs. He will make you get on your knees and say, please, Scat Man, I beg no more. I've had enough of your touchdown galore. Please, Scat Man, I beg no more. I've had enough of your touchdown galore.
Thank you for the super chat, DJ. Appreciate you dropping the wattage on screen. There you go. Your dreams have come true. Appreciate you very much. Gregory says, I give the channel money and I go in timeout. Well, Gregory, I don't know what you said. I'm not sure what you said. I'm sure the mods only put you in timeout because you were saying something repetitively or doing something disruptive in the chat, but just don't do it and you'll be fine. QJ 4 Sharps, 10-man, half PPR wide receivers, Gmo, AJB, Pickens, Jamar Chase. I'd rather have Sharps. That's a great trade, bro. That's a really, really good trade, Steve. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job, my boy. All right, let's see here. We got this one here. Trade Ladd and JMO for Jettas. If you like winning, yeah. And I don't know that anybody's going to do that. If that's a bright idea late at night, it's going to get rejected. But tell us if you did it. Didn't want to give up Sutton, but traded Sutton and Carousel for London. That was a home run smash, my boy. I wouldn't lose any sleep over making that move. Okay, need 2 flex plays between JCM, Hendy, Hunter, Coleman, Tootin, Benson. I'd probably say JCM and probably Hendy for now, or Hunter. Maybe JCM and Hunter safer. JCM and Hendy based on news maybe, but we're kind of beholden to the news on that one. You can't really, I think, make any assumptions now about Hendy's workload. We need to wait and see what's what. Traded my bill to acquire Buka. Of course. Nice move. Gibbs, HN Hall, you did fantastic. Trade my bill to acquire Hoop. Oh, you're saying do you do it? I mean, yeah, but who's going to do that? You know, Bill and McMillan, maybe. You know, try for Wandell, but you're not going to get that. There's no way you're getting that straight up, and there's not anything you've given me that's going to make me, like, concoct a trade that gets that done. But if you pull that off, that's crazy. Fields, Hendy, Chase Brown, Henry, Mason, Najee, Adams, CD, Igbuka, Rice, Diggs, Tyler Warren, any 1-for-1 moves. Not really, because none of these guys can be sold high unless you're going to sell, let's say, CD, and you trade CD for 2 players, which I'm certainly okay with doing, but it just depends on what you're going to be able to pull off, bro. I have no idea where to go from there unless I say, like, CD for JSN and let's see, CD for JSN, and what running back can you get with that? You know, like, if you can get Genty and a player like JSN for CD, I'm doing it. If you can get Genty and maybe even London or a combo like that, I'm doing it. CD needs to get you a Jamar Chase, something of that. I'm sorry, not Jamar Chase. Chase Brown or HN or Bucky. CD for Bucky, I'm doing that. Henry, I'm not moving. This is a great team, bro. Fantastic team. I think we got gifted memberships rolling in here. Russian Collusion gifting 20 gifted memberships. Russian, thank you for the super chats, my boy. Dropping 20 gifted memberships on the community right now. Got offer Puka and Harvey for my Sharps and Bucky. I'd rather have Puka and Harvey by a hair. And also traded Hill and Worthy for BTJ. Totally fine with that trade, honestly, bro. That's a fine move. I think it'll all work out for you. Jacobs for Genty. I'd rather have Jacobs can get you more. You have to wait. You have to get more for Genty or more with Genty for Jacobs. It's just the fair market value. It doesn't mean I don't like where your head is at, but you have to use the fair market value. Also, drop any of JCM Sharps, Hendy, or Harvey for Skattebo or Tootin. We talked about Sharps for Tootin maybe, but there's some risk there, man. I mean, it's a call that you're going to have to make on your own because it's literally 50-50. And it's all about opportunity. Whichever running back gets the opportunity is going to be the guy that balls out top 10 running back numbers. 2-0, Bijan, HM, Bucky. God, I can't get better than that. CD, Buka, Debo, nothing to move here. Absolutely nothing. Evan Ingram, any moves? No, you're 2-0. I could tell you're 2-0 without even knowing you're 2-0 just by looking at the squad. I'm letting this marinate. You're going to have some trade offers that come a knocking. JD5, if he's out or something, you had to protect yourself there. You know, you could potentially make a trade or just go grab somebody like Browning or something off waivers. But idea Debo and Tootin for Hendy and Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I'd do that. I mean, if you can pull off some crazy move like that, sure. I like that. Getting Hendy right now is not a bad move on the low. So that would also be, yes, or BTJ using Worthy right now. Go get BTJ or go get Hendy or go get both. Love your idea. BTJ would also be fantastic for that squad. Thank you for the super chat. Half PPR trades also dropped Caleb for Danny Dimes. Caleb Johnson, the running back, yeah, you can drop him. Danny Dimes or Tootin. I'd rather have Tootin, especially if you're not using Dimes. But would you use Dimes over Caleb? I don't know. Caleb scores fantasy points. I would probably take Dimes over Purdy. And then Barkley, ETN, Hendy, great running back stable, BTJ, London, JMO, definite a hold type of team. Let that marinate. I don't know that there's any trade ideas I have unless you were to take Barkley and turn him into like Chase Brown or Achan or Genty and get some sort of massive upgrade from like Pearsall or JMO into a, I know you got him, but London type player. That's, like Nico or something. That's the only way I'm moving Barkley. And past that, I mean, maybe ETN for Genty you could trade if you want to take a gamble there. Maybe you're trading JMO and Bill for, JMO and Bill for Chase Brown. It's crazy how cheap Chase Brown is right now. And we've had some chatter and laughter over some Chase Brown takes today, which is crazy to me that people are even down on him at all. Start 12 team PPR starters are Gibbs, Bucky, okay. Fannin, trade Genty, Higgins, Laporta for Javonte, Warren, and Hunter. I would not trade Genty, Higgins, and Laporta for Javonte, Warren, and Hunter. I would not. I value Genty a little more than the average person, apparently. But I understand why you would do that. Javonte is safer right now. There's no doubt about it. But 0-2, Knicks, London, Nico, Neighbors, Hampton, Hendy, Harvey, Fannin, Tootin, Debo, Buka, Gibbs, Hunter, Nico for Brees and Rome. I would take Brees and Rome over Hunter and Nico probably right now. That's tough. Yeah, I don't know. Chat, can we get a vote on that? Nico and Hunter for Brees and Rome. Rome is playing out of his mind, but are you gonna get rid of Nico Collins right now? But then again, it's like, I don't know. Stroud's so bad sometimes. Vote on this one, please. Nico and Hunter for Brees and Rome. Chat, vote on Nico side. I'm not gonna buy Rome on the high here. I like Rome, but I think I'm going to be with the chat here and lean Nico. I agree with the chat. Thank you for setting me straight. Attempted to take Rome on the high, but I don't know. Should I trade Sampson for Skattebo or Ferguson, or drop Sampson for Skattebo? I'd drop Sampson for Skattebo. I have Joker and Fannin, tight ends, and then Judkins, Swift, and JT at running back. I would definitely take Skattebo. Skattebo's got league-winning potential, my boy. I like it. I have Achan, Hendy, Tootin. Drop Sharps or Tootin for Wandell or Franklin? No, I would not. Or should I hold all the upside running backs? I would hold all the upside running backs, especially if you're not like technically starting these wide receivers. Who cares? Should I try and trade Tet, Pearsall, and Sharps for McLaurin, Keon, and Hampton? No. I'd rather have Tet, Pearsall, and Sharps, honestly. Or try Sharps and Pearsall for Hendy. I would do that. I would take Hendy. Well, yeah, Sharps and Pearsall for Hendy. I'd take the gamble on Hendy. I get that it's a gamble to some people, but I would take it. Would trade Puka and ETN for Higgins, Genty, and Hampton? Hell no. No, you're not. You're not. Keep Puka. Dude, value Puka. Puka could get you anything you wanted right now. 1-for-1, Josh Allen, Genty, Brees Hall, Puka, Pickens, Pearsall, Hunter, Jawan, Tootin, Harvey. Love the team. Thoughts on moves to make. Probably just say with this squad, I'm tempted to try and move Pickens or Pearsall with maybe a Tootin or something, but I don't think you can yet. So you're waiting on Harvey, you're waiting on Tootin. Nothing else on the bench is going to get you anything. I don't think Pearsall's will sell high right now off of a mediocre game. Pickens is just not valued. Hunter's not valued. Puka could get you the world, but why trade him right now? Josh Allen, Genty, Brees, Puka, you're 1-on-1. Let this ride one more week, and then let's come in with some ideas off of some big play. 0-2, Pickens, Debo, Buka, Rice, Tesla, Ayuk, Gibbs, Hendy, Tootin. Man, Fannin, sucks your 0-2. Need to pick up Browning. Who do I drop tonight? Of this team, I'm probably dropping Ray Davis. I suppose. No, probably Ray Davis. Or Gordon. Drop Gordon for now, but monitor him. Or Ayuk. I mean, you could drop any of those guys. Ayuk, I suppose you hold, but I would go Gordon. Drop Gordon for now, but monitor the hell out of him because if opportunity arises, he will be solid. I have no doubt if opportunity arises. Should I trade Kincaid plus Igbuka for Bowers? I would probably say yes. I love Buka, but I would take Bowers. I'm pretty deep at wide receiver. Yeah, especially if you're deep at wide receiver. Would Would I try and trade like Tet and Sutton or Tet and Worthy and keep Buka though? Yes, I probably would do that if I could over that. $5 hauler here from my boy Rolando. Appreciate you, Rolando. Thank you guys for waiting on the super chats. I'm sorry they're behind. 10 team, Garrett Wilson, Debo, DJ Moore, Dunze, Tyreek, Sutton, Rice, Hollywood. What can I offer to get a top tier wide receiver? I think the best receiver to go get is BTJ or Mike Evans because they're practically, I don't want to say free, but they're damn cheap. If you were to try and move like a Dunze and Tyreek for Nico for London, I would do that. But if you can't, I think Tyreek and Sutton even for a BTJ is worth the risk. A Dunze straight up for BTJ is worth the risk. Mike Evans using Reek or Sutton and Reek. Rice for BTJ if you need to. Those are all moves to make. Red, appreciate your super chat. I'm sorry the phone lines aren't open yet. We're just slammed. 0-2, what's the move? 10-man PPR. QB, Jaden Daniels, running backs, Chase Brown, Bucky, wide receiver, Lamb, JSN, Kraft, Hollywood. Oh, man, I don't know. This team, Chase Brown, Bucky's fantastic. Lamb and JSN's fantastic. I don't know that you need to really make any moves there. Kraft is somebody that's so easy to trade right now with JCM to go get that big player. I truly, truly love the idea of, and I keep saying the names, I'm sorry that it's repetitive, but BTJ and Evans are fantastic go-get players for you. Using Kraft if you wanted to put Fannin Jr. into the spot, the starting spot. You're waiting on Rice. You're not a team that needs to trade Rice because you have these other components that you can move around, and Rice is so powerful for you when he comes back. You need to get some wins. You need to be at least 3 wins coming out of at least 2 wins, but at least 3 wins if you can coming out of the 6 games here with Rice suspended. JCM and Kraft could probably get you, in my opinion, shoot for the moon, shoot for Chase Brown, shoot for Devontae Adams, shoot for Jackson Smith, shoot for London. If you can't do that, then honestly, Kraft for BTJ is what I'm going to advise you to do, or JCM and something else to go get Mike Evans. Travis Hunter, I don't want to trade him. Worthy and JCM might get you BTJ, and you don't even have to move Kraft. Try that, Red. That might be the solution, actually. Try that one first. That one's probably the best maneuver. Frank is 2-0. Probably don't need to do anything, Frank, by the looks of it. Let's see here. Any moves to make? Running back 2. So Bucky, I love it. Hendy, I'm fine with it. Jamar Chase, London, Adams, love it. Buka on the bench. So the move is probably selling Adams on the high or selling London just laterally across for that Chase Brown. London for Chase Brown. Sometimes you got to just pay the price, right? If you're trying to trade Adams, maybe you don't get it. You got to trade Adams and other players. Maybe Adams and JCM gets you Chase Brown or Achane or something like that. I think Adams could get you Genty straight up if you want to go that route. But I think sometimes, like a London for Chase Brown makes some sense. London for Achane. London and JCM for Achane, maybe even have to overpay. But Frank, you make that move and your team's kind of on its way, my boy. Appreciate you with the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Let me hit this one real quickly. This is 1-1 record, 12 team. Warren Fannin, any trade suggestions? Probably say with this team, I like the wide receivers, but you could move one of them, I suppose. Running backs are Irving and Hendy and Allen Morris. Okay. I'm trying to get into a. Yeah, man. Some of these teams are hard, I feel to maneuver. Like Hall is underrated right now. Hall's underrated. Chuba's underrated. So maybe you're moving a potential Garrett Wilson for Chuba. It sucks that you got to not steal somebody away and you just got to pay the price. Garrett Wilson and something like Hunter or Addison. Garrett Wilson and Addison for Chase Brown. Garrett Wilson for Chuba makes sense. Breece Hall. I give up that package for Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson and I don't think I move Hendy. I wait on Hendy. Wilson, Hunter, Debo for Breece Hall. Debo and something for Breece Hall. Debo and something for Chase Brown. Appreciate your super chat. Do you think Addison or Ayuk is worth stashing? Addison definitely is worth stashing, Chief, but not Ayuk, I don't think. It depends on the situation. But Thank you for the super chat. Drop Tracy for Tootin or Skattebo. Tootin, Skattebo in that order. Absolutely. Put a claim in for both so you don't miss out on at least one of those guys. Thinking of trading Genty and Evans for Jacobs. I'd rather have Genty and Evans. I think Evans is a great buy low, so that's not something I would do. A weak running back, trade Hunter for Judkins. I think that's a fine move. Russian Collusion says memberships is what you need. Win the championship. Take advantage. Memberships is what you need to win. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Russian. Appreciate you. Russian to the moon. Love the guy. Drop Braylon Allen for Woody Marks. Thank you for those gifted memberships, guys. Thank Russian Collusion if you got one, please. Russian Collusion to the mother freaking moon. Thank you for the gifted memberships, Russian. Trade Braylon Allen for Woody Marks. I would rather have Woody Marks right now. DJ says Sharbs and Hunter for ETN. Take ETN and run. Gifted memberships today. Let me just make sure I've got this properly. 20 gifted memberships from Russian Collusion. Please thank Russian Collusion for the 20 gifted memberships. I got a $20 hauler. Let me see if there are any other $20 haulers that need immediate attention. This one right here from Pal. Pal, appreciate your $20 hauler, young man. Let me get you on screen here and get immediate attention. And then I think I have all the $20 haulers out of the way. Okay, full PPR, 12 team starters are Burrow, Henry, Chuba, Hubbard, Puka, Flowers, Fannin, Pickens offered. Lamar Jackson, J-Mo Williams, and Nick Chubb for Puka and Hubbard. Offered Lamar Jackson, J-Mo Williams, and Nick Chubb for Puka and Hubbard. I'd rather have Puka and Hubbard, I think. Took the trade in my cooked. I'd rather have Puka and Hubbard, but that's a really, really tough call. Thank you, Russian Collusion, for the super chats. Appreciate you. Flea Nice with a $50 hauler from Flea Nice. Thank you, Flea Nice. Appreciate you, kind sir, for the $50 super chat. Flea Nice, you are the man, the myth, the legend.
Give me 50.
Thank you, Flea Nice. Flea Nice says, Smitty, miraculously, I won one of my games, so I'm 1-4 at this point. Just need to get my running backs going. Just streaming Browning and until Fields comes back from injury report. Okay. Joe Burrow, Sharbs, Bill, Harvey. So what are we saying here? All right. Well, Flea Nice, I'm glad you're updating me for the $50 hauler. Such a generous thing for you. Appreciate you. Hopefully Browning does come through for you. And then going to drop Joe Burrow, Sharbs. Don't drop Joe Burrow. I put him on IR. I get, if you can't, though, I understand. Like, he might be out for the year, but I would probably not drop him if I could. Shards, Bill, Harvey, Olave, Sampson. So I think that these are the players that are on waivers, or what? If I'm ranking, let me just rank these guys. I'm Harvey, Bill, Charbonnet, Samson, Ollie in that order. Flea Nice, I don't know if that helped you or what you were asking there, but appreciate your super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you very much. Puka, Swift for Bijan and AJB. I'd take Bijan and AJB by a country mile, but then I'm trying to flip that though. I'm trying to keep Bijan though. Trade Samson plus MHA Pickens for Debo or Debo for Brown. I assume it's AJ Brown, and I don't want AJ Brown. So no, I don't want AJ Brown at all. But make sure you spell out who we're talking about. Is that Chase Brown? If it's Chase Brown, then sure. But you know, you got to tell me. And these or questions are Samson plus MHA Pickens or Debo. I'd rather keep Debo. So if it's Samson's MHA and Pickens for Chase Brown, I think I would do that. But make sure you clarify who you're talking about, because I don't want to mess up the question for you. Drop Horton for Wandell or Franklin. I'd rather have probably Franklin right now. And then, yeah, Franklin right now. Tootin for Sharbs plus Harvey. I'd rather have Sharbs plus Harvey, especially if you have Walker. Drop Fields or Penix for Danny Dimes. I'd rather have Penix Jr., and then I'd probably rather have Fields and a Daniel Jones, but I know that you might need to make the move now. Should I trade CD for Bucky and JJ? I would have Bucky and JJ by a country mile, bro. By a country mile. Like, that's not even close whatsoever. Breezy, appreciate you. I'm thinking about going for Hampton in a dynasty, and I'm looking to win. Is Swift or Stevenson the second and overpaid? No, I give up like 5 second rounders for Hampton in a dynasty. Thank you for the super chat. You're not even crazy to give up 1 first-rounder for him. It's understandable. Got crazy offer. I received Bijan for Chuba, Hampton, and BTJ. I'd rather have Bijan. I still have Debo, Ricky. Do I accept you? Got to go get Bijan, my friend. Go do it and do it live. Appreciate you. 2-0. Got Hurts, Herbert, running backs, Bijan, Cook, wide receivers, AJB, Williams, tight end. Any changes? Probably not. I mean, I'd sell Hurts on the high, honestly. I'd sell Hurts on the high. Your running backs are perfect. AJB, I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of Hurts and AJB. Maybe get rid of both of them for a Amon-Ra or Nico Collins or Puka Nacua or JJ or something like that. But AJB for something and Hurts for something. You might be able to trade Hurts for BTJ and trade AJB for I don't know, Mike Evans. Both those moves might be good for you. I just don't trust Jalen Hurts right now at all. 1-1 Herbert, Penix Jr., Gibbs, Walker, Sharps. Like the team, Golden Lad, Ibuka, Rice, Ridley, stand down. Probably say, with this squad, you're 1-1. Let it play out a little bit. I like the Walker Sharp situation enough. I like Herbert enough. I love the fact that you got Ibuka, Rice coming back. I'm trying to get Evans or BTJ on the cheap. So if you can do that using, let's say, like a Ridley and Ladd or a Charbonnet and Ladd, I would definitely upgrade into a wide receiver like that if possible. That's the only thing that I'd look to do. And then this super chat here from Fane. Appreciate you. Just got BTJ for my AJB. That's an excellent move. That's what I'm talking about. Lamar, like the squad. Home run move. Problem, appreciate you with the $5 hauler. 10 team. Trades to make. I'd probably say Chuba, ETN. It's fine. It's solid. Swift and Hampton. Maybe trade one of those guys. Wow, love your wide receivers. How about you trading Swift or Hampton with Sutton to go get Chase Brown, to go get Breece Hall, to go get Hendy? That would really help your team out. Your team looks really good other than that. I mean, really good squad. 0-2. You probably got Rice. Dropped Ingram. Okay. Purdy, JJ, London, T-Mac, Hampton, Hendy. Oh man, this is tough. You got all these rookies underperformers. JJ. Look, receivers are great. Running backs are obviously a lot to be desired here. I will probably say wouldn't hurt to try and go get like a Judkins or something using T-Mac. Wouldn't hurt to go get a running back like Hall using T-Mac and Addison or T-Mac and something. Go to the ETN owner, see if they want Tootin, and you can do some sort of trade with them. Running backs to buy low on would be Chuba Hubbard using T-Mac. I think Chuba Hubbard might be your saving grace, or Breece Hall. Very, very tradable players right now. Start May, Hendy, Hampton. Pick up Skattebo or A.O. Manor. I would definitely pick up Skattebo over A.O. Manor if I can. Shakir, I'm dropping Shakir. I don't know if I'm dropping anyone else from the team, though. I like the team a lot. But yeah, good squad. Just trying to potentially upgrade at running back if I can somehow. Ted McMillan to try and get Hall or Chase Brown using some other players like Sharps. Definitely. But you got Judkins there that, you could stand down for 1 week and see what Judkins does, but it's against the Packers. So trade or hold, 2-0. Mason's going to step up perfectly for you this week to kind of test that out. So I'm probably standing down for now and waiting on Hendy and Mason. You got Achane and Mason this week. So Achane, Mason, Hendy may be in a flex, I guess. But you got JJ, Higgins, and Tet. You're probably fine putting Hendy on the bench for now. Flowers is nice value. Tyler Warren. I'd consider trading Tyler Warren and potentially like Mason to upgrade into a Chase Brown, or trading Tet McMillan and Tyler Warren to upgrade into a potential Chase Brown or something like that, just to upgrade the RB. But unless I'm getting like a massive deal, I think you're probably standing down for the most part and just letting the week play out. 10 team. My bench is Hendy, Bill, Sharps, Hunter. Who are you dropping for a QB? Probably dropping, unfortunately. Damn, man. Oh, my God. I mean, you probably have to drop Fannin. If he's your bench tight end, you probably have to drop him for a QB. Absolutely. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Damn, man. That's such a tough call. but Fannon's probably the guy you're dropping. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you very much for dropping the super chat. Wattage on screen, young man. And then we've got this one here from, let's see here. Trying to see. I just accidentally got rid of a super chat that was sitting there queued up. Where is that? Man, I don't know where. Let me see where. Let's see where it is. Where is this one right here? Nick Fulbrook. Where's? I think it was this one. 12-man PPR, 2-0, 2 flex league. Kyler Murray, Neighbors, AJB, Camaro, Walker, Charbonnet, Dobbs. Any upgrades? Flowers, like Walker. Walker and AJB for one bigger. Chase Brown, Achan, Walker. Or let's see, AJ Brown for BTJ. AJ Brown and something on the bench. Even Charbonnet for Genty. Mike Evans using AJ Brown, honestly. ETN and AJ Brown for just, like I said, Achan, Chase Brown, something like that. Thank you for the super chat. That's a real tough call. You got a lot of good bench pieces. You could even wait a week. Trade Hampton for BTJ. I would take BTJ in a heartbeat right now. In a heartbeat. Who would you rather have rest of season, Garrett Wilson or Ladd? Garrett Wilson by a country mile, unfortunately. But I still like Ladd at the right price. Should I do Marv, Sutton, and Ayuk for BTJ and Walker? Definitely. Turn Walker into DK or Sutton. I would turn Walker into something bigger. Do Sutton for Hendy. I'd take Hendy straight up. 100%. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. 0-2, 12-team, double flex. Any advice? I mean, there's not much to trade here, man. I mean, I would say you're waiting till JCM and these guys, Hunter, bounce back. Even Bowers, there's nothing to trade. If you're selling anything, you're selling Hurts. You're selling Hurts, and you're trying to get a player that is undervalued, hopefully beyond BTJ, and then you roll with a different quarterback. That's the only move to make. Bird and Toast, thank you for becoming a loyal member, bro. Appreciate you. I was offered a Dunze and Judkins for JMO and Hendy. I'd rather have Hendy and JMO for the long term, but I'm not going to lie. Dunze and Judkins could be better short term. But then again, Judkins has a really tough schedule. So I'm going to say stand down for now, and I keep the Hendy side first. But understandable to do either side of that trade. I could understand anybody liking either side of that trade. What moves should you make? Running backs, Jacobs, Genty, Hendy. Wide receivers, Buka, Ted, Debo. Love the team, honestly. You just hit with the Burrow injury. I don't know. I would say if I'm you, I'm probably just exploring a Tet for BTJ. Take a gamble because you kind of need it. Tet for BTJ returns to form, and you've got a potential league winner on your hands. Like that's you gotta hope for that. Got offered Genty, T. Higgins, and Laporta for my Javonte and Jalen Warren and Travis Hunter. I would take Genty, T. Higgins, and Laporta. I would take that side. I like Javonte a lot, but I'm very much in the business of selling if someone's overpaying and underselling. Offered my Genty and Evans for Javonte or Chuba with another player. He has Harvey. I would not trade Genty for Javonte, and I would not trade Evans. Those are two players I'm telling you to go get right now. So I'm going to say stand down on that. I'm not doing that trade at all. A $10 hauler here from Huz. Appreciate you. Superflex receivers are Jamar Chase, Ladd. Okay. Sutton, do I trade Ladd for BTJ? I would. Or do I try and sell on others? I like that move. It's been one you've heard me say all show long. I also like Evans, but I'd rather have BTJ. I think BTJ is it risky? Do I trade Ladd for BTJ? Ladd for BTJ or for Mike Evans? Mike Evans is fantastic for that as well. 2-0. Probably not going to tell you not to do anything if you're 2-0, my boy. Trade McBride. Yeah, I would trade McBride, I suppose. Sure. McBride for Chase Brown. McBride for Genty. McBride for Breece Hall. McBride for Breece Hall and something. McBride for, Hendy and something. If I'm saying something you have, I apologize. I'm just throwing out a bunch of names that make sense for anybody with that. But yeah, I definitely trade McBride for that big piece, that big player. London is very doubted. I think you could get London in some cases. Pepperoni, appreciate you. Pepperoni Tony with the super chat. My boy, Mayfield Genty, okay. Traded Pickens and Fannin for BTJ. I like that move. You got BTJ now. Ibuka, Addison, Hendy, Harvey, Judkins. I like this team. I'd be very tempted. Keep Neighbors and Genty together in JSN. I'd be tempted to try and move Judkins with a piece like Addison to go get that player like Mike Evans or that player like, and you already have Hendy, right? If you don't, then yeah, you have Hendy. Not much to move other than maybe Breece Hall, that for Breece Hall, but I'm very interested in Judkins for Evans right now. That's definitely a move I love for some of your guys' teams. Gives you that powerful wide receiver one that's trapped in a non-wide receiver one body right now. Love my boy Mike Evans right now. And I love Ibuka, but that Baker Mayfield production is going to feed both of them fine. Gibbs, Sharps, Jones, IR, Scat. Scat might save you this week. BTJ, Sutton, Rice. You're waiting on Rice, but I can't imagine you're doing well with it. So you're trying to trade Rice for BTJ right now. You're trying to maybe trade McBride for a Chase Brown, McBride for Breece Hall, McBride for something along those lines. You're probably trying to make two moves. If that's my team, that's what I'm doing. Smitty, you missed my $20 super chat earlier. Derek, I don't think I probably did, but I'll go look and see right now. Derek, I apologize if I did. Let's see if I missed Derek's super chat. He's probably right. Let's see here. Derek. Is that an I or an L? Derek. Let's see here. Offer my Genty and Evans for Javonte. Offered. Thank you for the $20 holler. Maybe I did get to it, but I didn't.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I didn't usher it along quick enough, and I apologize for that if that's what happened. But I think I did answer this one just now, didn't I? Offered Genty and Evans for Javonte or Chuba and another player. He has Harvey. Yeah, I did answer that one. What should you do? So with this team, if there's any other advice you were trying to get from this potential question, I would just say I like Buka. I love Evans and Nico. Rice is tradable for you. Sutton's tradable for you. Hampton and Sutton, Hampton and Rice, you're going after Chase Brown, of course, but Genty, you have Genty. Chase Brown, of course. Hendy, Chuba, Hall, Breece Hall, using Sutton, using Rice, maybe Hampton and Rice, maybe Hampton and Sutton, maybe all three for a Chase Brown. But I definitely try and get into, okay, Javonte or Chuba. Offered my Genty and Evans for Javonte, Chuba, and another he has Rice. Again, this is kind of a confusing question, Derek. I'm sorry. I'm not totally sure if this is your team. I think this is your team. I am not trading Genty and Evans. Those are two of my go-get players this week. I like Javonte. I like Chuba, but this is not a move for me to make. I would definitely be interested in trading the surplus of wide receivers. But, yeah, this has got to be your team. So I'm trading Rice and Sutton with Hampton to get that one RB. And you're just going to go through the gauntlet of players down to even Breece Hall, Jacobs, Chuba. They're all probably worth that move. Thank you, Derek. I'm sorry if that took a minute to get to. Thank you so much for the super chat. Beast Mode, appreciate you. 10-man Baker, Knicks, Chase Brown, Bucky, Hendy. Any moves? Probably not, my boy. I like this squad a lot. BTJ, Buka, Lamb, not touching it. Honestly, like even Bucky, Chase Brown, I love it. Baker, Knicks, if you can move Baker or Knicks up, using maybe a Rice, then I do that. Other than that, I'm holding Rice because you're going to explode when Rice gets back. Love the squad. Maybe 8.0 out of 10. That's how much I like it. I don't think your record should be 101. Knicks, Genty, Harvey, Sampson, Tootin, London, MHJ, what moves can I make? Earlier question was Chase Brown. Okay, I figured that. Genty, Harvey, Sampson. Buka, London's fine. Pickens, like that. Bowers, maybe I'm moving Bowers. MHJ and Tootin. MHJ and Harvey for Hall. Chase Brown. Bowers for Chase Brown. Put Fannin in. Bowers for, obviously, HM. Bowers for Hall and something. Do it live. Hunter and Tracy for Judkins and Stevenson. I'm fine with that, but I'm also fine keeping it. I think Hunter's going to eventually get going. I really do. Trade Bowers for Kraft? No. Traded Javonte, Jalen Warren, and Ridley for Hendy, James Conner, and Sutton. Traded Javonte, Jalen Warren, and Ridley for Hendy, James Conner, and Sutton. I could get behind that. Either side, though. My running backs are CMC, Hendy, good or bad. I think it could go either way. I'm fine with the trade. I don't think there's pros and cons to it. Trade Hampton, MHJ, and 2 first-rounders for Jamar Chase and Brashard Smith. Trade Hampton, MHJ, and 2 first-rounders. That's a lot, bro. Probably, though. Guys, are we doing that for Jamar Chase and Brashard Smith? Maybe it's too much. I don't know. If your team can win, but if you're just doing that and you have no future, I don't know if that's the right move. BTJ owner has Evans. He wants Walker and Ibuka for BTJ. BTJ owner has Evans. He wants Walker and Ibuka for BTJ Pickens and Walker for Evans straight up. I'd do Walker for Evans straight up if you need a wide receiver, but I'm not doing that other trade. I'm sorry. 1-for-1 Genty, Hendy, Gordon. I'm 1-on-1. I'm sorry. Mitchell unload for a tight end. Panicking at running back. Unload a tight end. So yeah, I mean, if you could get rid of one of these tight ends with, let's say, I don't know what you can do though, bro. You might have to divide and like if you could get rid of a tight end with Hunter, a tight end with Wandell, you go get Judkins. Judkins is a pretty cheap running back, G-man. I don't think I'd trade Hendy. JSN for like a slight wide receiver downgrade to get maybe Hendy upgraded, but I think I'm going after Judkins in a smaller trade. Thanks, Smitty. You're the legend. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate your super chat. Rockout says, what percentage would you put down on Franklin? I don't know the percentages, man. I'd say so. For instance, Calvin Austin went for $17. I guess I would say 20. But Franklin's good, but I don't know if he's like a league winner. But he's good. I'd definitely say whatever the highest has been for a wide receiver like that, I would say that's good. I'd say 20, $25 is fine. Thank you, Nick, for the blank super chat. Appreciate you. 0-2 with this team here. Drop who for them? Let's see here. Penix. Drop who for them? Break Jamar Chase into 2. The Bijan JT Cook owner also is 0-2. Chase for his Bijan and BTJ. I'd definitely take that. Or Rome. I mean, I'd take Bijan and BTJ or Bijan and Rome. But how are you going to get that when BTJ is better than Jamar Chase? But certainly I would do that. I would definitely do that. 0-2 Hurts, Chase Brown, Buka. I would say with this squad, you're trusting in Hendy as far as these running backs go, but you wanted to replace him. I get it. So Fannin, Ted McMillan. Ted McMillan's on the wire. Is that what you're saying? Drop who for them? You're dropping Njoku for Ted McMillan. You get Ted McMillan, then you can maybe make some trades, bro. Go get Ted McMillan, and then you can trade Ted McMillan and Hampton or Ted McMillan and Hendy to go get a slight running back upgrade. That's probably what you're doing. That's the number one thing you need to do. Debo plus Kelsey for Drake London and drop Njoku. And drop a full load drop if you have to. Debo plus Kelsey, Drake London. I definitely take Drake London, I think, over Debo and Kelsey. For sure. That's a good move. $10 12 team. Any advice with this team? Puka, London, AJ Brown. I'm trading AJ Brown for BTJ. Trading AJ Brown for Mike Evans. Trading Jamison Williams and Kenneth Walker for Chase Brown. Trading Kenneth Walker and JMO for maybe even Breece Hall or something along those lines like Genty. That would be a good move to make. A $10 hauler from Esteban. Damn, I just got rid of that. I think that's the one I just read, though. Yeah, that's the one I just read. Thank you, Esteban. Appreciate you. This one here from Derek. Appreciate you, Derek. I'm 2-0, 14-man league. Should I trade Ladd? I don't think anybody's trading for him, but I'm 2-0. May, Tony, Mason, JJ, Ladd, Kraft, Debo, Waddle, Henderson, Waddle. Wow, you're 2-0. I mean, I'm not saying your team isn't good, but that's you definitely tough sledding in a 14 team. It's tough. JJ into 2 players makes the most sense. Going and get a potential Chase Brown and BTJ, a potential Chase Brown or Genty and BTJ, Mike Evans and Chase Brown, like something like that for JJ. That's kind of what I would look to do. I'd also see what tight ends are on waivers to see or trade Kraft down to a Fannin to then upgrade Mason into a Chase Brown or into a Breece Hall. Trade Lab McConkey if you can for a Mike Evans or a BTJ for sure. Definitely like those moves. And he's appreciate your super chat here. Trade Hurts, Bucky, Genty. What trades? Hurts, Bucky, Genty, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Pickens, Kelsey. Like the team, Worthy, Jameson, Williams, Pittman, Harvey, Gordon, Penix Jr. I'm going to put Penix Jr. in the lineup, and I'm going to trade Hurts for that one player. And I'm trading him for London, for Breece Hall, for Chase Brown, for wide receivers that make sense for Hurts straight up, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. London, as I said, Rice, and a player like Hendy-ish, something like that would make some sense. I'm trading Hurts. You have to. You're 0-2. You got to make a move. I think that would be a nice move for you to make. All right, guys, I'll be back. Appreciate all of you. I got 2 super chats on the way out the door. Thank you so much. I'll be back probably at midnight Eastern. Thank you so much for all of the support and super chats. Morris, appreciate your super chat on the way out the door. My league mates won't trade with me since I won my league last year. Start for the year. DK, Wilson, Buka, DJ Moore, Pearsall. Start for the year. I don't know what that means. I'm taking Buka out of all these guys and then Garrett Wilson. And I'm trying to trade DK and DJ Moore and Pearsall for one better player. Trade DK for BTJ. Trade DJ Moore and Pearsall for BTJ. Not sure, but if you can't make any trades and you just want me to rank them, start for the year. It's Buka, then Garrett Wilson in that order. Appreciate you, Morris, for dropping that super chat. I'm not sure if I could have helped you with anything else. I'm sorry if I didn't understand it. And then Birdman, did I just answer your super chat here? You said my Pickens and Pitts and Johnson for his Ladd, Mason, and Hollywood. Give me the... that's so tough because Mason's nice. But Johnson's, playing pretty well. I love Pickens. I'll probably take Ladd, Mason, and the chance that Mason continues to thrive all year. Henry, I'd have JSN. Pickens, Pitts for his Ladd, Mason, Hollywood. I assume Henry's not in this. You list Henry, but obviously not trading Henry. I'd have JSN, Ladd, Buka, Hunter, Genty. I don't know why. Is this Hunter Henry? It's probably Hunter Henry. Then it's irrelevant. I don't know. It's kind of Birdman. I don't really think I understand the full question. But I'd definitely take Mason's side as long as Derrick Henry's not in there. Forgot my $5 super chat, says Brett. All right, Brett. Let's see. Brett, 12-man super, tight end 1.5. JD5, Mahomes, Bucky, JCM, Adams, Hunter, Debo, Laporta, Fannin. Any moves? I think I did get to this, but I like look, I love your quarterbacks, not moving that. Maybe there's one like it. I don't know. JCM and Bucky's fantastic. Adams is playing great right now. Hunter, I think, bounces back. Debo is playing great. I don't think there's many moves to make, bro. You're waiting on Harvey. The only thing you could divide up at all would be potentially Bucky or Adams. And quite honestly, I don't know, because Adams struggled in week 1 and did great in week 2, but the struggles in week 1 were explainable. I don't know if anybody's giving you what you deserve for Adams, so I'm holding him. Not trading Hunter low. People still doubt Debo for some crazy reason. And Bucky, just because of that touchdown that Rachaad White got and the 10 carries, people probably don't respect him enough. Unless I'm trading like JCM for BTJ or for Evans, or trading like, let's say, Fannin or Harvey and JCM or Fannin and Harvey or whatever to go get that BTJ or Evans, I'm standing down. Love those buy lows though, and make sure you check out these buy lows right here as well. Those will help you try and figure out what other player you might be able to go get using. Like Rice is a fantastic move for a team like this. I love Rashee Rice sitting there in the wings for you. You're 2-0, you can afford it. So if JCM gets you Rice, you do it now. If Hunter gets you Rice right now, you do it right now. Don't trade any of those starters, but I definitely go after Rice if you can. Rice will help make you a league winner, my boy. Appreciate your super chat. Sorry if I did miss that. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you, Russian Collusion. Thank you for the gifted memberships, Russian Collusion, who gifted 20 gifted memberships. Thank you to my 20 and 50 and $100 haulers. Collusion, you're the man, the myth, the legend. I'll see you. G-Man, I didn't forget your question. I remember reading it specifically. So when you guys say I forgot your question and you just didn't see me and you're just saying that you're crying wolf and it ruins it for everybody, because I did read your question. And so saying I forgot it instead of saying, hey, Smitty, I missed it, is kind of two different things. Real quickly, I'll read it again. 1-on-1, Genty, Hendy, Gordon, Mitchell, BTJ, JSN, Igbuka, Hunter, Wandell, Kelsey, Pitts, Fannin, panicking at running back. I've definitely read this one. Loading one of I just read it. I just read it. I don't know, man. My brain's mush at this point. I already attacked this question. I would say, unless you're turning JSN into two pieces and you can really get a steal, like you're going to trading JSN for Chase Brown and BTJ or something significant like that, where you're getting two pieces. There's not a lot of movability with this team right now. Genty, you can't sell low. Hendy, you can't sell low. BTJ, you can't sell low. Buka is even selling low if you were to try and move them. So Kelsey or Pitts or Fannin with, let's say, Hunter, sure. If you can move that for Judkins, do that. Try and trade for Judkins on the cheap. He's probably the cheapest starting running back you could find. If not, take a look at this. See if you can get like Hendy as an example and just wait on Hendy. I personally would wait on Hendy you got Hendy, damn it. I don't know, maybe one of the tight ends for Hampton, and unfortunately you're going to end up having to no problem, G-Man, I got you covered, but unfortunately you're going to have to maybe wait on Hampton and have to take a gamble on something like that. Russian Collusion says you are the legend. You're the legend, Russian. Appreciate you dropping the super chats. And then the celebratory messages here at the very end here. Let me see if I can rip through. Russian Collusion with his 38-month membership. Appreciate you. And an IP says, how worried are you about MHJ? Very worried, but we also got to keep in mind that the coach did say he wanted to use him more. It was a stupid explanation. Concerned. All right, see you all later. Appreciate you. Racing Boy, do I move T-Mac and JCM for MHJ and Chuba? I would probably say that isn't half bad. It's pretty arguable. Chat, vote on that one. T-Mac and JCM for MHJ and Chuba. Please vote on the chat for that one. That's the last super chat. I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys. See you at midnight Eastern. Dose. Don't forget, Underdog, promo code Smitty. Hit that link right now. I'm going to drop it in the live chat. If you want to draft with us tonight for week 3, you have to hit this link right now. Sign up and get ready. Don't miss out. $5 gets you 50. Just hit the link. I'll pin the link in the live chat right now. I'm out of here. See you guys. It's going to be a little bit past midnight. Appreciate you all. Thank you for all the super chats. Racing Boy, get your answer from everybody. Please vote JCM and T-Mac for MHJ and Chuba. Vote in the live chat for me, please. See you all at midnight Eastern.